for an encore. He's made it. He's made back-to-back final tables, but a second title won't come easy. The Poker Masters 2023 edition continues right now. Welcome back to Las Vegas, the PokerGO Studio to be exact. My name is Remko Rinkema, Donnie Peters alongside me to bring you coverage of event number 2 of the aforementioned 2023 Poker Masters. The action will be hot and heavy. The names are big. The payouts are great. And as always, we got the fans with us in the chat. Thank you all so much for showing up, showing out. Let us know in the chat where you are watching from. We got Ali Najad and Maria Ho on the call right now on PokerGO.com. So listen to them, hang out in the chat over there, and this is what it's all about. Mr. Vladas Tamasauskas, an unknown to most of us on yesterday's final table when he defeated Aram Zobian heads up. But right now, he is looking for back-to-back titles as Bin Weng takes the chip lead into this final table with a whopping 3.8 million chips. Here's a look at those final table chip counts presented by StormX. And 3 legends grace us with their presence today. Erik Seidel, Alex Foxen, and Darren Elias will talk much about their accomplishments to date. But first, Alex Foxen, only 4 big blinds. He's going to have to make a massive comeback as we look at the standings in the race for the jacket. There it is, the purple jacket, as always, present on set for the players to take a look at. And winning that jacket comes with a 50K cash bonus. Donnie, we joked yesterday about the names of the players not being as big, and look what we got here. All the legends are present.
Yeah, really, really good final table here. And we got the new kid on the block back again, which I like to see. That is Tamasauskas.
First question for the chat. How many hands will Alex Foxon last? Only taking 4 big blinds into this final table. He's folded the first hand. Donnie, set a line for us.
7.
7 hands for Alex.
He drew a good seat. He drew the button.
There it is. Yeah, exactly. He gets to wait a little bit. We're experiencing some slight tech difficulties on the card graphics, but I've been promised that is being worked on as Tamasauskas comes in for a limp here from the small blinds.
I love those Sunday days off. So good.
De La Cruz in the big blind, raising it up right away.
I assume you not play satellites.
Satellite? No satellite. Play golf tomorrow.
I love satellites.
I used to.
Feels like an old school poker hand, Donnie. We're just going to have to figure it out ourselves.
All right, Darren, we're going to have some bets tomorrow. just like
stuck, right?
Just like 4 or 5 of them is all. Just so we have some sweat.
What do you think the largest single bet Erik Seidel has ever made on an NFL game?
10,000.
A very good number. I would have probably said the same thing. Check on the flop here between Tamasauskas and De La Cruz. De La Cruz wearing a hat with a logo sort of making me think of the Ninja Turtles.
Oh, yeah.
Got a nice bit of bling going there with the nice little watch and the bracelet. De La Cruz coming into this final table with 2.4 million chips. He is second in chips currently. Also present at this final table, Eric Baldwin, the legend. It's been a Vegas staple for what feels like 2 decades at this point. 240 is the bet. And a very quick call here by De La Cruz. Very curious to see what these cards will be as we await the river card. 7-6-3, 10 deuce. Oh, there it is. A quick look at the cards. De La Cruz with queens here. Tamasauskas missing his flush draw. Donnie, can we barrel on this deuce, or is that just asking for trouble?
I mean, I think it's a bit asking for trouble here. I'm surprised to see De La Cruz disguise his hand, take the line that he did, but Tamasauskas does correctly find the check there. Might be sometimes you think, you're up against some good ace highs, ace queens, ace kings, ace jacks, stuff like that. So you hit that deuce on the river, now you think, maybe I can go for some really thin value, but Tamasauskas does check it, and De La Cruz is the one going for value here. Small bet, 150K.
De La Cruz playing it coy with the check back on the flop with his pair of queens. How do you like the line that he took, Donnie?
His hand's very well disguised. Looks like it's going to get him called here.
Wow. Wow. That'd be amazing for De La Cruz here.
There it is.
Call is made. De La Cruz going to table pocket queens here.
Emphatically.
Yeah, with authority.
A nice first hand. Doing a good job so far, David.
I will crush that first hand. Deuce 3 offsuit.
Bin Weng never loses, Donnie. He would have won this one too.
I will not openly now.
Oh, here we go, Donnie. Your new best friend, Antonio De La Cruz,
Saying
owner
somehow I
of
get
Tony's
into the
Pizza.
hand.
Donnie,
it.
can you please get his phone number?
I mean, I'm sure we have it on file already. Let's go. If he ladders up one spot to get to 6th place, he will have his largest live tournament score according to Hendon Mob. I believe it's 51,000 or so, maybe 57,000, I forget exactly. But if he gets up to at least 6th place, he'll be cashing for 58,200, as you see right there on your screen. The final table payouts presented by Volato, private aviation partner of PokerGO.
I found Tony's Pizza already, New York City. Classic New York slice.
Yeah, it looks like your classic New York joint.
I mean, it doesn't get more
Doesn't get more New York,
than
that.
this. Yeah, exactly right. Good reviews on the Google machine. So if you're ever in New York City, just walk in there and say, hey, I saw Tony on the Poker Masters.
Yeah. Foxen's turn here with the king deuce of clubs.
Hand 2 at this final table. Donnie set the line at 7.
We have 205.
210.
210.
De La Cruz again
210.
with a big hand.
How you like that? How much do you have? 210? Okay, I'm going to make it that much.
Exactly.
He doesn't mess around either. He's in and out.
I love it. Bin Wang with the appealing-looking 6-9 of hearts. Donnie, give us some background on Mr. Bin Wang here. This guy has been on a tear.
Oh, he's been crushing this year. He's won more than $5.2 million already this year, so that number in and of itself is amazing, right? It's incredible. He won, I believe it was the return at the Borgata way back in January. He won a WPT in May. He actually made 2 WPT final tables. He also won the WPT special event that they did during the summer in conjunction with One Drop, so he's been on an absolute heater all year long. That more than $5.2 million that he's won, independent of this result here, is only 20th, though, on the 2023 money list, if you can believe it.
That's
like, that's so much money, but it's still only 20th. And listen, if you're running as hot as a Bin Weng, you call the 9-6 suited pre-flop.
Queen, Jack 3, 2 diamonds rolls off the deck. De La Cruz fires out 150K. Wang folds. Foxen at risk here, looking for a king. Like I said, Foxen came into the final table with just 4 big blinds. The former back-to-back GPI Player of the Year winner in a heap of trouble here. Turn card, 3 of hearts, doesn't change a thing. Still looking for that king. Foxen on his way to be our first casualty at this final table. River card, the Jack of hearts. That's going to do it. Alex Foxen eliminated in the 7th place. Foxen collecting $48,500, and he'll be back for event number 3, I'm sure. And we are now down to the official final table. Players will receive additional time banks worth a minute each.
Tony, would you mind we spread a little bit more? A little more room now.
Bin Weng's
What are we doing? Like,
enormous
one spot
presence
over?
needs some additional elbow space, Donnie. Bin Weng asking to square up at this table as we look at the Storm X chip counts. Darren Elias and Vladas Tamasauskas now tied for the short stack with 21 big blinds. Bin Weng still on top as Antonio De La Cruz is off to a hot start here at this final table. Directing my attention here to the people watching right now on YouTube. If you are with us right now, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel.
Yep.
We're over 500,000 subscribers, so if you get in right now, you're still among our first million, which has some sort of sentimental value, I'm sure.
Oh, I see.
You guys can spread out a little bit. We have to use the same box, and then they'll reset it.
All right. Okay.
Why don't you use the same box and spread out?
I think on last night's stream,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
hit 500 likes on the video,
Much better.
gave away some PokerGO subscriptions. We're going to do the same thing again today. First giveaway at 300 likes,
All right, who's next?
second one at 500. So there you go.
Let's go, people. Let's go.
There he is, Basebaldy, legend of the game. Perhaps a bit underrated with the big poker crowd.
Yeah, I would say on the PGT scene, the high roller scene, underrated. Kind of comes out every time we have a major series and fires some of the 10K events. Kind of dipping his toes in the water in a way, taking some shots. We'll see if a big result is what propels him to play a full series, get involved in the 25Ks, that sort of stuff.
I never run like that, never.
Obviously starts with making final tables early in the series, as he's doing here.
Yeah, Eric Baldwin, winner of 2 World Series of Poker bracelets.
Exactly what they had.
A plethora of final table results. Also has a runner-up finish under his belt. His largest cash to date, however, 2010. Second place in the 25K World Poker Tour Championship
What was your name
behind David Williams.
again? Oh, okay. Nice to meet you, Tony.
Yeah.
Right.
All in. Pizza Tony.
Yeah, Baldy making his first PGT final table as we see Elias all in here against Ben Wang.
I mean,
The year of Ben Wang.
Ben Wang
it's
beat him
just-
in the pot.
Yep.
He beat him in the pot, snapped it off, and here it is. Darren Elias at risk for his tournament life. Also, huge implications for Weng in this hand, as Elias winning this one would give him a really, really strong stack, and it would bring the field a whole lot closer together. 21 bigs at risk here for Elias. Let's see if he can find some help here with King-Queen offsuit. Here comes the flop. Ace, deuce, 9, 2 clubs. Backdoor clubs alive for Elias. Backdoor straight draw as well. But of course, a king or a queen would make him potentially crack a little smile. There it is, king on the turn. Elias takes the lead. No, I mean, what was I even saying? Of course there's no smile. It is just emotionless for Darren Elias. River card is the 5 of clubs.
No, I think it's a little less.
Big double up for the World Poker Tour crusher. Does he have 3 or 4?
I believe it's 4.
1 million and a quarter. Yeah.
I
Right.
can't remember. I get lost in it.
Darren Elias, just one of the all-timers on the tournament felt.
I wasn't rooting for you.
Come on, man.
Sorry.
12.1 million in career tournament earnings for Elias, originally from Boston, Massachusetts.
You're the chip leader now.
Went to Redlands, creative writing degree. Did not see that one coming. Elias' success on the World Poker Tour dates back to 2017 when he won the Fallsview main event for $326,000. Also has a win at St. Martin back in 2014. That event a lot smaller. Feel as though they really took note of him when he got that second title.
125?
125,000.
Cruz comes in for a raise. Weng with the potentially playable King-9 of diamonds. I get a sense that both Weng and De La Cruz are not here to fold.
No, that's what we like to see.
340.
Raise 340,000.
340.
340 raise.
Ben Weng indeed looking to play here. Makes it 340,000 in position, applying that pressure on Antonio De La Cruz, who could be Drew Amato's father. You know, it's very possible.
Call.
Look at De La Cruz, Donnie.
He's in there. Let's go.
Big pot brewing here. The two big stacks clashing. With that hit that Weng took, De La Cruz now the tournament chip leader. 9-10-3 rolls off the deck. Weng, of course, takes the lead, hitting a pair. De La Cruz perhaps not feeling too bad having two backdoors here, Donnie, over cards.
I don't think you got to feel horrible about this flop. I think a player like Bin Wang is certainly capable, willing to open it up a bit, you know, a little bit more on the loose side of things, or at least trending that way.
Action does go check, check. Turn card is the king of clubs. And Wang just keeps improving. Of course, third club out there might slow things down just a little bit. De La Cruz does pick up a straight draw. Donnie, if you're De La Cruz here, are you just in complete shutdown mode?
Yeah, I mean, that king being a third club, at this point I'm probably not willing to put any more chips into the pot. Probably would have on the flop had Wang bet in position. Here I think Wang's going to bet, you know, apply some protection to his hand. Also, you know, get some value. You don't just want to give free cards to the variety of straights and flush draws that are available.
460,000.
460, a little bit over half pot from Wang. De La Cruz gives it up.
Bin Wang chipping up after doubling up Darren Elias. These three now, all in a row, are the big stacks at this table. Here's a look at Been There, Done That. Bin Wang's 2023 live tournament results. Would you look at that? 2.2 million, 1.1 million, and 1 million. 3 7-figure scores in 1 year, 42 cashes, 14 final tables, and as Donnie mentioned, 5.2 million in total earnings this year alone. Absolutely stellar performance, and it's good to have him in the studio, Donnie. You know, we see players sort of rise through the ranks, but to me, it's not until they sit at this felt, playing in these tough fields, that they've really sort of arrived, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think there's an argument to be said about that. It's not to take away from their accomplishments outside of the studio, though, of course.
I am taking away from their accomplishments
Yeah,
outside the
you can
studio.
do whatever you want.
If you don't win,
I'm speaking for myself.
If
here.
you don't win in the PokerGO Studio, you mean nothing to me.
Well, one of those players who now means something to Remko is Tamasauskas.
Exactly. Tamasauskas
Didn't mean anything until yesterday.
No, exactly right. Shout out to everyone watching right now. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Donnie and myself are going to be here all day covering this final table until we have a winner. If you prefer to listen to the likes of someone named Ali Najad and Maria Ho, you can do so on
Who are they?
PokerGo.com. I don't know. They're kind of like the backups for us.
Seidel, going for it.
The living legend.
That doesn't look like a dinosaur on his shirt. I'm just saying.
Seidel all in here
Yeah, 1.5.
after a raise from Tamasauskas and a call from Weng. Seidel from the big blind, 1.49 million.
Okay.
Weng thinking about it with ace-8 suited. Decides to let it go. Seidel with the best of it, takes it down without showdown.
I think if I was going to bet, I'd bet on you, though. I'm going to bet on Darren now that he's bet that.
No hat for Seidel at this final table, which is a rare sight.
No hat today. Well, it looks like he's got his hair trimmed. You know, maybe he wants to show it off a little bit.
That is
You feel
true.
Looks
bad.
nice and fresh.
We're heads up
That is true.
by any chance, and you feel bad.
Chad
you
is
want
saying
me to
that the
win
dinosaur
title.
is in
Come
reference
to
to
me,
his,
okay?
his own person among the crowd.
I'll let him get one.
Blinds are up, 30K, 60K with a 60K big blind ante.
I'll buy 30,000, please.
Just tuning in. 6-handed battle here. Alex Foxen, the first player to depart in 7th place. He came into the final table with just 4 big blinds. We're having some issues with our card graphics. Apologies for that. I've been told they are working on it. Someone turned up the opacity on these. Can see right through them.
Yeah, we're just trying something new, man.
Are you researching Seidel's t-shirt?
Of course I am. What did we talk about yesterday? If you want free marketing, just give one of these players a piece of clothing or something.
Right.
Something that stands out that Remko and I will reference. I believe Dinosaur Jr. is a band.
A band. Interesting. Meanwhile, Seidel limping in from the small blind. Tamasauskas with the with the awful looking 8-3 offsuit,
160.
but he's going to go on the offensive here. Not even 100 likes on today's video yet, Donnie. Should we just call it?
Yeah, pack it up. Easy day for us. I mean,
True.
Seidel's in there. Here we go.
Oh, look at those graphics.
Oh, back.
All of a sudden, we're back to normal.
Dinosaur Jr., American rock band from Amherst, Massachusetts.
I'm going to listen to it tonight. Oh, Aiden throws up the horns, so we got to know it's good.
Yeah, okay.
Meanwhile, 7-5-4 rolls off the deck. Not the worst flop if you're holding 8-3 offsuit. Seidel still with the best of it. Action goes check, check. Jack on the turn. Donnie, from Seidel's perspective here, what's going through your mind as Tamasauskas sort of attacks you from this big blind situation?
That it's going to be tough to play out of position against the player of Tamasauskas' ability. I think Seidel was just kind of looking to connect in one way, shape, or form on the flop here and continue, but he has nothing, so 4 pairs the board on the river. Seidel's going to check again. See if Tamasauskas wants to bluff at this one now. The 8 high. I don't think that's going to show down too well.
We saw a 10 high call last night on the broadcast.
Against Tamasauskas.
Can we see a queen high call right here, Donnie?
We could. I believe we saw a queen high call later on from
380.
Aram Zobian. Full pot here from Tamasauskas.
Is that the preferred approach, Donnie? Not giving hands like the queen high a chance to call?
Yeah, I mean, just go for it.
Action on Seidel. He's in the tank, perhaps thinking, what would he check all the way down with to then fire full pot?
Seidel's certainly capable. I just have in my head, he's gonna fold it, but I had in my head 100K high roller final table Monte Carlo against Charlie Carroll, and I believe Seidel called him with jack high.
Wow. You're reaching deep there. I was at that. I was there. I was doing the interview afterwards.
Yeah.
It was a Charlie Carroll breakout.
Yeah.
Dmitry Urbanovic was there too. By the way, Vladas Tamasauskas moved up into 5th on Lithuania's all-time money list with yesterday's win here inside the PokerGO Studio. And here's a chance for you to play inside this very studio. Play where the legends play. Win yourself a dream seat by entering our raffle. We're doing $1 million free roll. It is the PGT Championship. If you're an annual subscriber to PokerGO, you will be eligible. Use promo code DREAM20 to save $20 on your annual subscription, and you're automatically entered into our raffle.
With that finish yesterday, that victory for Tamasauskas, and this final table run here, no matter what happens at this final table, no matter where these players end up finishing, Tamasauskas is going to extend his lead at the top of the leaderboard. He could go all the way up to as many as 462 points if he does secure the back-to-back victories. And then Bin Wang's the only player remaining who also cashed in that event number 1. It was a min cash, but still, he got 17 points for his 16th place finish.
I mean, every point counts.
Oh, yes.
Here for the jacket.
There you see the event number 2 summary presented by GTO Wizard. 10K buy-in this one. 97 entries, 14 cashed. First place, just over $223,000. These final 6 players guaranteed $58,200 right now.
Shout out to our sponsor, GTO Wizard. Looking at their logo there in the background. Go check them out. GTOWizard.com/PokerGo. We got an exciting offer for you on their website.
125,000.
Whenever I look over at Donnie's screen, he's always on GTO Wizard doing some analysis. As we see Elias raising it up with 6s.
Wang got the 6-5 off in the big blind. Facing a little bit over a min raise from Elias out of the under the gun position. Wang does make the call. These two WPT champions going to battle. Jack 5-3, 2 hearts. Wang pairs a 5, which, you know, could allow him to put some more chips in the pot, but he's behind the pocket 6s of Elias still.
$175,000.
Wang really giving it some thought here, Donnie. Doesn't have a heart in his hand, just middle pair. Pretty tough to continue. Multiple streets here. He's going to see at least the turn card.
Yeah, only one overcard so far. Does have some backdoor straight draw possibilities as well working for him. Wang checking the turn. Once again over to Elias.
If you're Elias here, Don, do you continue firing? Do you take some showdown value there to the river, try to keep the pot smaller?
You probably try and take the showdown value here.
Now a third heart shows up. If you're Wang, you're just, you know, hoping to see what Elias has here. Do you use this heart to turn your hand into a bluff? What options do we have?
I think you can probably try and get to showdown here, you know, against like the ace queens, ace kings of the world, stuff like that. Check, check. Wang probably thinks he might win this a lot of times, but he's not going to.
6s for Elias are going to take this one down, and it might seem insignificant, just a
mostly?
single raise and a single bet,
Upper
but all of a
West
sudden, Darren Elias creeping up to over 40 big blinds.
Yeah, I almost moved to New York, back to New York rather than here. It was like New York or here, but there's not. I mean, other than underground games, I mean, where can you play poker? You know?
Yeah, I don't think there's much poker, and the tax situation's so much better here.
Yeah.
I mean, this is where our residence is, but we have an apartment there.
I love New York, though. I like the crazy people. I like all that,
Yeah.
you know.
Best city in the world.
I can't picture Erik Seidel anywhere else than New York City.
Fold.
Eric Baldwin wearing the hat representing the Las Vegas baseball team. How many more years?
Who knows?
By the way, for those people asking for Maria Ho, she is doing commentary right now with Ali Najad on PokerGo.com, so subscribe right now. And if you use promo code DREAM20 to get the annual subscription on a $20 discount, you also are automatically entered into our raffle for a chance to play in our $1 million end-of-season free roll.
Could see a clash here. Pocket 8 for Bin Wang in the small blind. He elects to limp in. And Darren Elias looks down and finds the ace jack of hearts. Tamasauskas, the short stack at the table, but not severely short. He does have 18 big blinds, so could see a good amount of chips here go in the middle between these two. Elias going to start things off with a raise. Makes it 210,000.
All in.
There is the shove from Ben Weng, and Elias, I think he's going to have to call, but not the greatest feeling in the world.
Massive pot developing here. Ace-Jack of hearts versus eights. Donnie, this is for a massive chip lead. Roughly equal stacks here as Weng has Elias covered by 275,000. Those blind battles, they can just get so out of hand so fast.
This is like 45% of the chips in play
Are
in this pot.
Is this for the tournament, Donnie? Here's the flop. Wow, 10 in the window, 6-7 behind it. Darren Elias, 2 overs and a flush draw. Never easy here. 15 outs, twice for the 3-time World Poker Tour champion. Turn card is the 8 of spades. Weng hits a set, eliminating some of Elias's outs, but he does get a straight draw in return for it. Now 10 outs heading to the river. River card is a heart. And there it is, Darren Elias doubles twice through Ben Weng. He now up to 4.87 million. And Donnie, can we say now that this is Darren Elias' tournament to lose?
I mean, I think so. He's in the driver's seat, that's for sure.
Wow.
With that double up, Darren Elias up to 40% of the chips in play, 81 big blinds, 4.9 million. Ben Weng falls all the way down the leaderboard. 4 big blinds remaining for Mr. Wang. Wow, what a flip, man, what a flip.
Darren Elias, just a few hands ago, was our short stack. He is now in control with 81 big blinds. Donnie, did Ben Weng make a mistake?
No, I think that's pretty standard for the money to go in there.
I'm feeling hot. I'm getting sweaty. I'm feeling like real hot in here. Can someone turn the fan on, please? The action is on fire here at the 2023 Poker Masters. Shout out to everyone in the chat, by the way. Let us know who you're rooting for.
Nice part of the Bronx.
My brother went to school there.
Fordham?
He went to the high school there.
Tap. No, Tap.
Fieldstead.
Oh, Philson, yeah.
Yeah, that's a really nice area.
Yeah,
Ben
people
Weng
don't know that
swinging
Bronx
for the
has, like,
fences.
mansions and stuff. It's,
Yeah.
And this one backfired.
they don't even want to put like on the
Here's
mailing.
a look at
like,
our chip denominations
Bronx, you know,
brought to you by Card Player.
In the Bronx.
5Ks, 25Ks, 100Ks in play. We're going to see those 5Ks get raced off at some point today. But for now, Darren Elias can enjoy those towers in front of him. Dynamics, of course, over the next few hands are going to be centered around Ben Weng.
All in.
Finds a playable one here
So
on the
how
button.
many places do you have it now? How many pizza places?
I only own one now. I just sold a whole bunch of them, so. I started working on 231st and Broadway by the Van Cortlandt Park is where I started.
275.
And then I started opening Dutchess County.
275,000.
I mean, the Ben Weng comeback is unfolding in front of our eyes here as he's got Eric Baldwin dominated.
Call.
Baldwin does make the call. Ben
Oh,
Weng
come
at
on.
risk. Ace-6 versus King-6. Nice bit of timing here. Picking up the Ace-6 offsuit.
Oh, yes. Baldwin pretty much has to call out of the big blind here with Ben Weng being so short.
Flop brings out Queen, Jack 4. Baldwin looking for a king. Or backdoor straight cards. Or else Ben Weng will stay in the hunt. An 8 on a turn is not going to do it. River card. Let's see if Weng can double up. It is the 8 of clubs. The ace high holds up. Spin Weng.
All right, that's one.
Yeah, I was going to say that's one, and also that's 10 big blinds,
Never
which
been
means
to
that
Piper's Kilt.
he now has some fold equity. He now can actually fold a few
Burgers in New
hands.
York, yeah.
Really?
It's in the Bronx,
Next
though.
orbit or so might be a little bit more tight as we all look at perhaps a potential pay jump. Tamasauskas and Baldwin on 18 and 16 big blinds respectively. Baldwin, former college ball player, owner of 2 bracelets.
Those chances pulling for you now.
Jason in the chat says I'm old school, so of course I'm
Tough
rooting
to
for Seidel.
overcome.
We have Erik Seidel's epic main event run from back in the 80s available on PokerGO if you want to watch that.
Raise to 150.
Raise 150,000.
Seidel defending from the big blind against the open from De La Cruz. Ace, Jack, 10 on the flop here. Wow. Broadway for the man from New York City versus top 2 pair from De La Cruz. Seidel with the quick call. You can see a turn card here. Queen on the turn.
Check.
4 cards straight out there now.
Yeah, could kill some of the action on this hand.
De La Cruz reaching for more.
90,000.
Donnie, is this where you check raise? Just in case De La Cruz has this type of hand, maybe even something like a set? Because you're chopping against a lot of hands here too.
Yeah, I think you can take the line of start trying to build a pot here. There are some combinations of diamonds that are going to be out there. This sizing from De La Cruz, you know, he went 150 on the flop, then he goes 90 on the turn, so
Yikes.
smaller.
That sucks.
Kind of makes me think like he just wants to get to showdown really cheap, you know, probably check behind the river, so.
Look at this, De La Cruz with the quick fold, showing the ace-jack. Erik Seidel chipping up nicely, now sitting on 2 million. Like we've said many times, it's not all about the money, also about the points as we look at the all-time cashes at the Poker Masters. Seidel up to 10, Foxen up to 9, including this event, event number 2 of the 2023 Poker Masters. Good to have these guys, you know, chasing after it, playing all these events inside the studio. The room is buzzing. We heard Paul Campbell earlier get cards in the air for event number 3. With a bunch of 10Ks to start this series off. Then we have 3 25Ks and a 50K to close it all out. With the amount of poker that's available for live players all over the world, it is great to see that these series are consistent. We get the big names to come out for it. We get entertaining final tables, and we've always gotten an exciting race for the jacket at the end of the week.
Got the ace on the
Always,
river.
very much looking forward to it this year again.
Oh, J Talent rooting for De La Cruz.
Raise 125,000.
Darren Elias has a bunch of fans. Cottonmouth King is asking, is there a rail? Well, not your prototypical rail like you see at the World Series of Poker, but you can definitely come in here, check it out, come say hi, on break, get a photo with Donnie Peters. It's all possible right here at the PokerGO Studio. Negreanu, by the way, in the house every single day. Tamasauskas in the big blind.
All in.
Excuse me?
Going for it, look at that.
9-7 of clubs, just moving it in. Elias with a quick fold. Donnie, give us some thoughts on this one.
Interesting. I mean, I thought he would have taken the line of just calling. I mean, 9-7 suited, you know, certainly playable to defend out of the big blind. Probably some thought there from Tamasauskas that Elias, now
Eric,
with the
did you
chip stack
purple
that
on
he
purpose?
has, is going to be opening
I did
things
not.
up a bit, and you know, in the case that he happens
I
to
just
run
like the
into
cap.
something from Elias, I mean, how bad is 9-7 suited doing, really? You know,
Right.
so
And the band.
if you watched yesterday's final table, event number 1 that Tamasauskas ended up winning, you'll know that he played extremely well throughout. So
Oh, yeah.
he came into it as an unknown, but we all quickly got to know the Lithuanian, and he played extremely well, exceptional from start to finish, and I would only expect to see that continue on today.
Yeah, and his resume speaks for itself. Plenty of deep runs and big tournament finishes all over the world. Knows his math, as we saw last night when he called out some of the percentages exactly. Now, I'm not going to claim that's rocket science, but still, he's on top of his game. And I love this, Donnie. This is the beauty of poker. One hand earlier, he shoves 9-7 of clubs. The very next hand, King Jack offsuit, into the middle.
Yeah, I mean, Darren Elias here in an earlier position, so probably a little bit stronger in his range. Second hand in a row, Elias might be, you know, a little bit tighter. King Jack, one of those hands that probably doesn't line up so well against an EP Open. De La Cruz, though, does come along from the big blind with the 8-7 of clubs. He's going to check fold this flop, though. Queen 6-3. Elias with continuation bet takes it down. All my years covering poker, Remko, Darren Elias with a mountain of chips is one of the most fun things to watch.
Absolutely.
He's going to be hammering away.
Doesn't back down from anyone as we look at the event 2 format. 40-minute levels, 10K buy-in, a 30-second shot clock, and 12 time banks to start. Players received additional time banks when they got down to the final 6. But as always, the pace of play very high here at the Poker Masters. If you're with us in the chat, please let us know where you're watching from. We are live from Las Vegas. We'll be here until we crown a winner tonight. Last night's final table also available, of course, on demand on YouTube. Tomorrow, everyone's watching football. We're taking a dark day, and we're back on Monday with the final table of event number 3, which is ongoing right now inside the studio. You can follow the live reporting on pgt.com as Darren Elias finds queens, and Tamasauskas steps into it with pocket jacks.
There's some dynamics at play here, too. Elias has been opening very frequently. Now that he's got the chip lead, this is his 3rd hand in a row raising. The first hand of those 3, he got 3-bet jammed on from Tamasauskas in the big blind. Now, probably going to see another 3-bet jam here. This time, we know that Tamasauskas is going to step right into it.
875.
875.
Committal raise here, making it 875. Keeping some chips behind.
All in.
Elias wastes no time, moves all in. Tamasauskas is committed, makes the call with jacks, and we have a really, really big clash here between two very strong players. So far, everything coming towards Darren Elias, but of course, his hand still needs to hold up. If it does, we're going to be down to 5, and he's going to have an even bigger chip lead than he already had. Bit of tension perhaps on the face of Elias as Tamasauskas hides behind his hat. Here's the flop, ace in the window, 9 and a 3 behind it. Tamasauskas does have backdoor clubs. Besides that, though, looking for one of the 2 remaining jacks left in the deck, calling for the queen of clubs. It is the 5 of clubs.
I did not say that.
11 outs now for the Lithuanian.
That's a red card.
Couldn't kill Tamasauskas yesterday. Is it going to be more of the same today?
River card is the 5 of hearts. He will not get it done today. The Lithuanian
For you, right?
eliminated in 6th place. Adds a lot of points to his total. Cashes for 58,200.
I make some
And
more
Darren
money at the same
Elias
time. I
on
lost
a tear,
the winning chance.
up to 6.3 million chips.
No football bets
That is
this
more
weekend.
than half the chips in play, Donnie.
Say that.
Yeah, you see the score of 58,200 there on the screen for Tamasauskas. That equates to 58 PGT leaderboard points. Combine that with the 239 that Tamasauskas got for winning event number 1 yesterday. He's up to 297, sitting at the top of the leaderboard with a pretty healthy lead.
I
Wow.
think you might call because you know I'm shoving ace 5.
In these
think about it a
10K events that we have on the PokerGO Tour, the conversion from dollars to points is 1-to-1. And then we do round up. So you guys can do the quick math.
Keep it simple. Keep it simple,
Oh,
though.
yes.
They're doing that just for me.
I mean, that's right. Keep it
six
simple,
night
stupid.
off
You and I are stupid, so they got to keep it
That
simple.
was special. That was special.
Full ring table. All right. let me
5
see if
players
I have
left
some
guaranteed
hands. Battle with monster right here.
$77,600 now.
And Bin Wang,
All right.
who was down to 4 big blinds, got himself a pay jump and now finds pocket kings. Look at this.
6 or more.
A little bit of trickery.
No,
Oh,
I
my
have
God. Darren
five
Elias finds a
something,
hand.
I believe.
This is going in, for sure.
Oh wait, I just paid the blind in the antes. I might don't have 5. Yeah, 520 altogether. 520.
Wang trying to sell it here. It's a good deal for you, man. It's only 520. Get in the mix. Darren Elias finds a
All
real
I was
hands.
trapping you.
I got pretty good hand.
Me too. Always blind versus blind. Yeah, if I rape you, you're gonna call.
Donnie, this is how you win tournaments,
fold
though.
that one.
You find kings when you
Wonder
have
hit your 7,
absolutely
and I
need
will hit
them.
My king.
Yeah, it also helps when your opponent picks up pocket sevens.
Who you
Wow.
rooting for, Eric?
Not chip leader.
I
Yeah,
can't
too
root
many
against
chips to
either
root
one of you
for.
guys.
You gotta leave. So.
Good
People
answer.
got too much.
Here's the flop. 10, 9, 6. Plenty of outs here for Darren Elias.
You 8 on the turn again.
No, don't do
Not
that.
again.
What, take a. What is a more sweat card? No. 6.
No good sweat cards available. 4 spades on the turn.
David, he can't win 3 flip in a row.
6 outs for Darren Elias.
Gonna be a paint card.
Or else Wang will double up a second time here
Queen
at this
of
final
club.
table. River card is the 9 of hearts.
Phew.
That looked like a Darren Elias card, Donnie.
It did.
Finally win
It
a-
looked like it
win
could
a
have been
flip
the 8 of
cancel.
hearts. It was the 9 of hearts, though. Pairing the board,
Is that correct?
You close.
Bin Wang gets another much-needed double
Felt like
up.
it was there when it turned too.
Thank you.
Small
You wanna
chunk
be
taken
all
out of
the
Darren Elias' stack, but he's still
Maybe it looks
extremely
like
healthy.
I
95
had
big
a-
blinds,
I had a lot of tricks.
more than 5.7 million
I'm
for
hard
the
to kill.
4-time World Poker Tour champion. Elias
Don't say
got
that,
his
don't say
first
that. That's
PGT
not-
win
that's not-
inside the
that's
studio
good luck.
earlier this year. Back in March, he won a USPO event. I believe it was a
Oh,
25K,
over a million
or maybe it was a
now.
15K. I
Nice.
can't remember exactly, but
Back in business.
finally got a win here
the
inside the
game.
studio. So gonna try and make it number 2.
Wiping some of that sweat off his face.
3 in a row with blind versus blind. Always reasonable hand.
Good hands.
Yeah, I have good hands. I had 3 pocket pairs against you in the small blind. 10s, 8s, and kings. Finally, hold up 1. So the smallest, I got smallest one. You got 2 big, the big ones. Gigantic one.
If you're just tuning in, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. When we hit 300 likes on today's video, we'll give away a PokerGO subscription.
I'm crazy. I could just call.
Eric Baldwin now the short stack with 16 bigs. Darren Elias can just go get lunch and come back for the heads-up portion of this final table.
Oh, I'm not the source that now.
I'm happy for you, Ben.
I appreciate that, Eric. I know you was rooting for me when I had a kings. My first final table at the PokerGO Studio. You're gonna let me leave a little longer, right? You have a 6 or 7.
5.7.
Oh, no, we have more women than that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, 5.7. Still right. 5.7. If you win that one,
I
you
need
have
the 7s to win.
Yeah, then you have like 7 million. That's too much. Too easy. No good. You got to do some work.
$125,000.
Ace deuce for Elias, raising the button, attacking the blinds as he will probably about 100 more times here at this final table. And you can see it on Seidel's face. He knows it's happening. He's experiencing it, but there's nothing he can do.
Yeah, Seidel's in that weird middle ground
It's
too.
like
He's got
back-to-back
31
jam
big
on you,
blinds,
or
so
it's
he's
like
he's
one
healthy. He
away,
can
one
chill,
apart?
but
Eights?
he's someone
What do
who
you mean?
Elias can certainly attack.
Like two in a row. Is
With
like
the shorter stacks of
if I was
Wang
right.
and Baldwin still
I think it's okay.
remaining.
It's back-to-back jam.
I think it's okay.
Because I know you open, you jam, you fold the first time, you call the second time. I forgot it was back-to-back or not. Tony.
Wang, 140,000.
Wang has some raising chips again, much to the dismay of Eric Baldwin, who now sees himself, getting some separation at the bottom of the counts here. Seidel finds pocket fours in the small blind. Donnie, how do we feel about defending with small pocket pairs from the small blind? I feel as though it's almost frowned upon these days.
Yeah, I mean, you could do it in some spots. I mean, Wang now that he's up to, 17, 18 big blinds to start this hand. Probably enough there for Seidel to want to get in there, try and flop a set of fours and stack an opponent.
When 5-5 deuce rolls off the deck, do you feel somewhat okay, or is this really all about flopping a set for cheap and then letting go of the hand because there's too much potential trouble developing on turn and river for a hand like fours in a spot like this?
I think it's somewhat okay. I mean, obviously you have to be concerned that Wang on one of the shorter stacks is probably going to keep things a little bit tighter, but he has been Wang. He is capable, of course.
220,000.
How do you feel about Wang's continuation bet here into two players off the short stack?
I mean, he's going to continue to represent here.
Oh,
Seidel clearly not buying it. Is this a case where Wang can try to attack every big card that might hit the turn?
Yeah. And Seidel's going to want to see a nice clean one, which the six of clubs
That's
is about as clean as you
yeah,
can get.
I was going to say.
No spade. It's nice and low.
I mean, how much does Seidel have to worry here about getting taken to value town versus a pair of 8s, 9s, 10s, stuff like that?
Yeah, you certainly have to worry about that. I mean, those are the types of hands that I think Wang is going to continue with. Wang shutting this down here on the turn, I think, helps Erik Seidel feel good about his hand, but we can see that jack on the river does put Wang in front. He has the better two pair now. A little bet here from Seidel, third pot, 300,000. We expect to see Wang make the call here.
10 seconds.
Which is going to be unfortunate for Erik Seidel.
Not extension.
Wow, moving all in. Look at that from Wang.
Wow, Seidel put himself in a real tough spot here. Donnie, once you've been faced with a shove, there's really only one decision to be made, right? As much as you don't want to do it.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to do it. You're getting a really good price, but I mean, what is he? Oh, he makes the call.
Wow.
Does Erik Seidel.
Seidel makes the call with pocket fours, sees the bad news, and all of a sudden, Bin Wang, after being down to 4 big blinds, now way back up
Darren, you got to take care of this.
to 40 bigs, and Erik Seidel now our short
Darren, you
stack.
got to take care of this.
It's tough to kill, man.
What did we just see, Donnie?
See how hard he had to hit the. He got spiked the king, spiked the flush
it.
on the river. To get the chip. No, I'm just joking. I like roller coasters. I don't like safe raw. I don't like it. I either have all the chip or no
Whoa.
chips.
I'm speechless, Donnie.
With that hand, we now see Erik Seidel is the shortest stack, 775,000. Just slightly behind Eric Baldwin, who's got 825K, so those two at the bottom of the leaderboard gonna be fighting for that pay jump.
Donnie, do you think this has a lot to do with perhaps some history between these players?
I'm gonna say no. I mean, we haven't really seen Bin Wang compete a lot inside this studio. I mean, yeah, they could have played together for this particular tournament, but that'd be a pretty small sample size. I think ultimately there, Erik Seidel just probably felt, you know, he's got too much invested. Maybe Bin Wang's just getting a little bit crazy with some sort of weird bluff spot, but
Maybe Wang's reputation is, you know, spreading. People thinking that he's always on the bluff, because that was.
he's pretty much always had it though at this final table. I mean,
I
he's
know.
had good hands.
Yeah.
Eric Baldwin finally gets a hand he can get involved with. Raises it up with the king-10 off.
Bin Wang not happy to surrender any blinds.
No, but Ben's not folding a big blind. I mean, come on, man.
Roger in the chat says this is Elias' tournament to lose with 50% of the chips. I mean, it is, but Bin Wang is unstoppable the last few hands.
Good flop here for Baldwin. Top pair has that 10 of diamonds as well on the 3-diamond flop. Wang gets a piece. He's got 3 to a straight. He's got a pair of 6s. $350K in the pot here. 695 behind for Baldwin.
Check.
Baldwin elects to check behind, 9 of spades on the turn. Probably a bit more comfort for Eric Baldwin having the 10 of diamonds, not worried too much about checking behind and giving a free card, because you probably figure a lot of times that 10 of diamonds is going to be just fine as a flush card. Wang checks the turn over to Baldwin. I feel like we should start seeing Baldwin start to put some more chips into the pot here. Oh, he's going to elect to check behind once again. 7 on the river.
Baldwin potentially going for some small value here, Donnie.
I think at some point Baldwin should be putting money into this pot. You know, try and get some extra value out of there. Maybe the plan was, you know, he doesn't think he's going to get multiple streets, so try and get one street, and his path of success there, he felt best was, you know, check back, flop, and turn, try and get some value on the river.
60,000.
Oh, and perhaps now getting what he was looking for, a little bet out of his opponent. Can we do anything raisy that's going to look bluffy, or is his stack just too shallow for that?
Well, it depends how you're going to possibly respond to a re-raise. I think if you're fine raise calling it off, then put in the raise and try and get the max value. But, you know, a lot of times you see players in these spots, not necessarily at these levels, but just in general in poker, you know, they put in a raise here, then they get jammed on, and they're like, well, now what do I do? You know, so got to have a plan here, and I trust that Baldwin will find it. Looks like he's going for much more than 60K, Remko. There it is. That looks like 420 to me. Maybe 415. 415.
415. 415,000.
Could you see Wang level himself into a call here? Or no, there it is. Quick fold. Of course, no reason to get out of line. But Baldwin taking down his first significant hand here at this final table. All right, plenty of action still to come here from the final table of the 2023 Poker Masters. Here's a look at a way for you to get involved into some poker action. Check out PokerGoPlay.com. Find it on the App Store on whatever phone you might be using. Choose your avatar and get in the mix right now. And here's a look at our final table chip counts presented by StormX. Darren Elias still on top, 5.8 million chips. Erik Seidel after that catastrophic hand versus Mr. Bin Weng, now down to 775,000 chips. Eric Baldwin chipping up just a little bit. And Antonio de la Cruz, after a strong start, has been quiet the last half hour. Still very comfortable with 37 big blinds, as those blinds now go up to 40K and 80K.
This hand or next hand?
This hand or next hand? We're already in the middle of a hand.
Next hand blinds
'Cause we got
will
one
go up.
fold.
Poker players, man.
You got all the luck.
Like they haven't played infinite number of hands to know that if the hand
Right,
is going,
exactly.
it's the next hand.
Yeah. Like when's the last time you put your blinds out and you had to take them back to raise them again?
I had a pair. You had me beat? You don't need to tell me what it is. Happy now. I appreciate it.
Speaking of de la Cruz keeping quiet, picks up a small pot here.
I mean, I call one small blind bag.
They
You
all
bet
add
a
up, of
pair
course.
Small. I call you small.
Approaching 200 likes on the video. When we get to 300, we're going to give away a PokerGo subscription.
Maybe lose more chips.
Thank you all so much for spending
I
your
had a
Saturday
6.
with us. Let us know where you're watching from. Let us know what you're drinking. I'm on coffee number 4 today.
We're on
Location,
the live
weather,
stream.
beverage.
Yes, a good one. By the way, speaking of the weather, it's still hot during the day, but the mornings in
Take some
Vegas,
stones
Donnie,
to
are
watch.
just steam right now.
Coming.
Yeah, they've been very nice.
People do it. But it
Very,
seems
very
like-
nice.
Then you never know if like somebody
We're getting
checked to
into
see
that
if
time
you're
of
telling
year
the
when it's my
truth or not,
favorite
and
time
so
of
you
year
just
to
walk
go to
around
Vegas.
not knowing. Truth will set you free, you know.
Yeah.
Seidel and De La Cruz out of the way. Bin Wang with the King 5 off on the button. Quite a bit of a roller coaster of a day for Bin Wang. Started the day today, 7 players left. He
160,
was
yeah.
the chip leader. Got all the way down to 4 big blinds. Lost a huge flip against that man right there, Darren Elias. And now Bin Wang has slowly been crawling his way back. He's right in the middle of the pack. Third in chips with 5 remaining. Taking that one down there, getting a little bit more.
T. Anthony says, no free lunch when Remko's in the booth. I'm not sure what that means, because I did get a free lunch. It was a breakfast burrito for lunch. I mean,
It was good.
I can probably eat a breakfast burrito at any point of the day, all day, every day. Probably my favorite food, Mexican food. Cold-blooded in the chat says, enjoying a White Claw in Las Vegas. Bodyguard on coffee number 7. Be careful, buddy.
Coffee number 7.
7. I mean, that's like World Series of Poker type levels.
Couple 6s here for De La Cruz. What you gonna do, sir?
Ian Little, Norwich, England, also on a coffee. Late night coffee there, Ian. Be careful there if you want to get some sleep. Jason is at work, having a Celsius. Big fan of those. I like those a lot. De La Cruz raising to 190. Darren Elias finding jacks on the button. Could see some fireworks here.
10 minutes. 5 seconds.
Elias not wasting any time coming in with a 3-bet. Donnie, is it hard for players like De La Cruz who don't do this all day, every day, to respect the fact that a player like Elias in position sometimes is going to wake up with a real hand?
Yeah, I mean, of course you have to be concerned about that. You know, Elias is a player who I think is certainly going to take his liberties as the chip leader and really apply pressure to his opponents, especially those who are, you know, more kind of in the middle range. You know, the De La Cruz, the Ben Wang, who aren't the really short stacks. Because these guys in the middle, they have to worry about the short stacks due to the ICM pressure. And that's what's going to happen here. De La Cruz is going to get it done. We obviously know that Elias had a good hand, so he wanted to call there, but nonetheless, nice strong arming there from the chip leader.
Got to give massive credit there for De La Cruz and his discipline to let go of sixes. It might not seem like a difficult spot, but when you're in that moment, when you're getting attacked by the chip leader, by someone who you know, that they know, that I know, that you know, in that whole leveling war situation, that they could just be messing around.
Yeah, you're like, you know, I haven't played a hand in a little bit. I'm finally coming in for a raise, and now this big chip leader bully guy over there is just fighting back at me. What is this? Poker just got the ace-4 suited? Like, what's going on?
Poker is a game full of bullies.
You'll read that.
The bullies usually win. In this world, it pays to be a bully. Ben Wang here, gonna come in with a raise with the ace-10 off. He's under the gun here, 5-handed. Elias looks interested. King-Jack off for the chip leader. I could see Elias taking all three options here. I could see him folding at times. I could see him just calling. I could see him putting a 3-bet here, continuing with that aggression. We're seeing option 3. I like this one. Staying aggressive with it. Elias makes it 430,000.
This is literally the scenario we just talked about. You know?
Yeah, this is another tough spot. This time it's Ben Wang that's in that tough spot.
How much tougher is the spot for Ben Wang with Seidel and Baldwin both below $1 million?
Yeah, I mean, I think that certainly makes it a spot where you don't want to bust as much. On the opposite side of that, you know, Ben Wang is experienced, and the more experienced you are, kind of the less you care at times, you know. He does elect to give that up. Elias just staying on it. Now up to nearly 6.5 million in chips. That's 53% of the chips in play.
And please don't race off those 5Ks because it looks so cool. Here's a look at the race for the jacket. Vladas Tamasauskas up to 297 points, extending his lead with the cash today. Of course, he would have loved to have laddered, not just for the cash, but also to create a bit of a buffer here, as we all know that whoever wins today is going to be right up there as well.
Yeah, so out of these 5 players, if anyone but Ben Wang wins, they're going to get 223 points, and that's where they're going to sit in second place. If Ben Wang wins, he already had 17 points that he got in event number 1, so he'll take those, plus the 223 if he wins today, and he'll go up to 240. Elias here under the gun raises to 160K. Baldwin's got us an interesting spot on the shorter side of things. 11 big blinds. He knows Elias is playing aggressive.
575.
Here we go.
One of my favorite spots here, as we have two of the same hands clashing. Donnie, when this gets back to Mr. Elias, is this just not something you want to get involved with, given the fact that Baldwin is so short, given the fact that he is probably in a bit of a tighter range, or is he short enough for you to just stick it in there?
Yeah, I don't think ace-9 off is good enough. I mean, he's on the shorter side. You got to think he's kind of higher up in his range.
There it is, Baldwin taking it down without showdown. Chipping up nicely here as all eyes are still on Erik Seidel, sitting on just 7 big blinds after losing that big one versus Ben Wang earlier. If you're just joining us, my name is Remko Rinkema. Donnie Peters alongside me. Follow us on Twitter. You can find us there pretty easily. Baldwin just shy of $8 million in career tournament earnings. Arctic Revival says, love seeing some poker go. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hold.
Copy Eric's bet since it works so well. 575.
Come on.
Erik Seidel, 575 for him. That is an all-in. De La Cruz calls it off immediately with the same hand. And Darren Elias here, king, queen suited in the big blind. Donnie, what are we thinking here?
Yeah.
It seems like a good price.
He could take a shot here.
2 million.
If this was a bounty
I think
tournament,
it's
Elias
starting
would
at
for
2 million
sure be
exactly.
in there.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to score 2 KOs.
De La Cruz, of course, not all in yet. Still has 1.4 million behind. Is the thinking now...
If Elias saw their 2 hands, he would call.
Oh, of course. But is the thinking now, does De La Cruz have enough behind for me to play this hand post-flop? Is that what he's thinking about?
I mean, I think he's thinking about the fact that he's probably going to have to play... Probably a good chance he's going to have to play a really big 3-way pot. I mean, I think there's times his hand's just going to be too good.
Well, Seidel's all in and at risk with a chance to triple up. It's going to be tough to triple up, but
Opportunity.
he does have a chance here.
And those percentages that you see on the screen, they represent the fact that Cruz and Seidel are going to chop a lot. So just be aware of that.
Ace, king, 9. An ace for both Seidel and De La Cruz. De La Cruz has the ace of hearts. He makes sure that he does. Action gets checked around. Turn card. Oh my God, a third king. Darren Elias takes the lead, and the day just keeps on getting better for Darren Elias. 98% now to take this down. Erik Seidel must be feeling pretty comfortable here, Donnie.
I don't know. I don't think you like seeing that second king come out on the turn, especially with Elias going to be leading out here.
Do you think?
Can't make you feel good.
Do you think De La Cruz is probably thinking, why would he bluff into a dead side pot? And he does think that because he folds his ace right away. Elias shows king queen,
The hand I had.
and Erik Seidel looking for that last remaining ace. Of course, the graphics has 2 outs, but we know that De La Cruz folded one of those. Erik Seidel on the brink of being eliminated. If only De La Cruz would have reshoved. River card is the 4 of spades.
Good luck, guys.
The legend Erik Seidel eliminated from this final table in 5th place.
If I just go all in, or you think you would have called if I go all in?
Snap call you.
Fucked it up.
There's so many chips.
I mean, I would have just chopped the pot, so it kind of worked out in a way.
Seidel collects 77,600 for his efforts.
Ace 8, same as
We are down to the final 4
Just had a bad feeling.
in event number 2 of the 2023 Poker Masters.
Oh yeah, sure.
Wow.
What if I just want to be like close to you? man?
Seidel though was in such a good
That-
spot.
Trying to get away.
That looks weird because you're a huge table and then you're 4 players squeezing together like.
All right, good job, Darren.
You'll
Keep it
come
up,
back
right?
purple. Yep.
He's already up there.
I know.
He need to lose some chips to us. He's already had so many chips.
So they need to reset this or something, or they know that we're going to use these now?
Oh, I gotta use the same. Oh,
Players
you
just
can use that chip, yeah.
creating more and more space for themselves. By the way, happiest man in the building right now, Eric Baldwin.
Oh, yeah.
Started out with the short stack, still the short stack, still in the hunt as we are down to the final 4.
As things relate to Erik Seidel there, he came into this event 62nd on the PGT season-long leaderboard with 547 points. Picked up 78 for this finish, so he jumps up to 625. So getting closer to that top 40. Of course, as we have talked about many times on these broadcasts, the top 40 qualify for the season-ending PGT Championship $1 million free roll.
Seems like a pretty big deal.
It is a pretty big deal. Antonio De La Cruz, Ben Wang, and Eric Baldwin are really nowhere near the top 40 as of right now, but of course, a result here could get them a bit closer. Darren Elias is within that top 40. He currently sits in 32nd place with 885 points. And with the chip lead now four-handed here, and a big chip lead at that, he's certainly going to be adding a nice chunk to that total. You guys can check out the PGT standings over at pgt.com. Just hit that leaderboard button at the top of the screen.
Look at this, Donnie, the equities. Elias with the 7 and the flush draw, Baldwin with the pair of queens. Dead even, according to the math.
Baldwin going to play it slow here. That's another diamond. 10 of diamonds on the turn. Darren Elias gets the check mark as long as he doesn't fold.
We've seen Baldwin tread carefully at this final table, so I can't really see him getting too out of line here. Action does go check, check. Baldwin not going to take a stab here with the 4th diamond out there. Elias thinking of sizing.
Yeah, I think we have a good spot here for Elias to bet. Can look a little bit bluffy when you're the chip leader, you know, firing into a 5 diamond board like this. Yeah. Comes with 350, so almost full pot. Always difficult when you're in a spot where you're calling to chop the pot.
Right. Nobody wants to.
I mean, he doesn't necessarily have to call. He could shove, get a little bit crazy with it, but he likes to fold correctly, and the rich get richer as Elias picks that one up.
Darren Elias has already won 10 hands at this final table, 2 of which were all in for his tournament life. Just makes it seem so normal.
There you see the tournament update, 97 entries in this one to begin with. There are 4 players remaining, top prize, just over $223,000. Average stack, $3 million. Kind of like yesterday, a little bit skewed though, because Ben Weng is second in chips with $2 million, only 2/3 of the average stack because Darren Elias has all the chips. Yesterday it was a Ramzobian with all the chips. Now it's Darren Elias with all the chips. But it's not guaranteed that Darren Elias wins. We saw it yesterday. Tamasauskas was able to come from behind. Zobian finishing in 2nd place, so
Yeah, 3 purple,
see where
1
this chip lead
blue.
takes Mr. Elias. On the button, 9-3 of hearts. But a stack like that, we're going to raise it up.
Christy in the chat says 55 more likes until the PokerGO giveaway. You are right, Christy. When we hit 300 likes on today's video, we're going to give away a PokerGO subscription. Another one at 500 likes. Appreciate everyone for tuning in. It's only event number 2, but I am like fully in on Poker Masters. Like WSOP, of course, now feels like forever ago. It just feels right to be back.
Both players here flopping a pair. De La Cruz, his pair of 7s is best. He checks, and Elias is going to continue with the aggression, 125K.
De La Cruz quickly folded top 2 pair with ace jack, or excuse me, 2 pair with ace jack when the 4th straight card hit against Erik Seidel. Just now he folded his top pair of aces quickly when a second king hit on the board against Elias.
He's fighting back here.
But right
That's
now,
a check raise.
exactly, right now not taking the passive approach. Alexander asking, will Negreanu play in the Poker Masters? Yes, he's played event number 1 and 2. He's playing event number 3 right now.
You can't hear him?
Yeah.
You can hear him in the background.
You hear his laugh every now and then. Elias lets this one go, and De La Cruz is allowed to win one.
Oh, he is.
It almost feels like Elias is deciding who gets to win a hand every now and then.
Okay, you can take this one's a small one. All right, you can have this one.
I'm with Darren. I'm gonna watch that video like 100 times. No, I'm just playing. I had
Still four-handed here at the Poker Masters. Here's a look at our eliminations so far. Alex Foxen came to the final table with just 4 big blinds, and then Tamasauskas, our event number 1 winner, was next to go, running jacks into the queens of Darren Elias, and then the legend Erik Seidel eliminated from this event after a crazy hand versus Bin Wang. If you missed that one, skip back in our broadcast just a little bit as Seidel put himself into a tough situation with pocket 4s.
win. Yes, good fold, good fold. I know we're messing around. I want you to execute him.
Execute.
Execute.
Wow.
Hello.
Like next shot.
Fold this hand. They're bound to get all in.
Donnie, there's a thief on the loose.
I thought
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure the stanchion is up.
When
You
Darren
can't just
bluffing?
walk back here.
I don't know if he's
Yes.
bluffing or not. He probably have an ace of
Too
diamonds.
many diamonds.
Some players, they just don't care.
Donnie and I are sitting in the
The closet.
the closet here at the PokerGO Studio, but we
Not
have
very good.
good vision on who is snacking because our snack table is right by our commentary booth. Mr. Dan Shack just exploring the free snack offering.
Should tell him it costs $30 for whatever he took, that granola bar.
I mean, I think he can afford it.
Yeah.
You got 2 million?
Little more. A
little more.
Bin Wang out of the small blind, limping once again. Very
No,
much a
I-
theme for
yeah,
him
about 2
playing
million.
blind versus blind against Darren Elias. Elias is going to check this one.
Probably exact 2 million, I think. Exact 2 million.
10-7-5, piece of it for both players. Wang is the best. Top pair, top kicker. He checks. A couple times now we've seen Wang play very slow, very trappy from the small blind against Darren Elias' big blind. I think it's pretty safe to assume that Elias is probably picking up on that a little bit, you know. I mean, granted, Elias has picked up some hands when that has happened.
This hand is extra interesting given the outs that Elias still has.
Yeah, Wang gonna fire a bet here now. I think you gotta start putting some chips in the pot. Both to get some value, but also, you know, protect your hand. You have a top pair that, you know, could potentially be vulnerable here. A lot of draws on this board on the turn. Elias with a pair and a straight draw, so he's coming along. We'll see the river. King on the river.
Bin Wang using up a time bank chip here before deciding what to do.
660.
660. Large sizing here for Wang. Elias not letting go right away. Does this indicate that Wang made the right sizing no matter what Elias does? The fact that he's even considering this with a pair of sevens?
Yeah, it's a good sizing. It's getting your opponent thinking about it with an inferior hand. And if you end up getting called, you're getting a lot of value. Almost full pot here from Bin Wang.
Seconds.
I don't know. Elias is getting those chips out to the side.
10 extended.
Wow.
There is the call.
Darren Elias makes the call. Bin Wang is taking control of this table all of a sudden. This man can't miss ever since being knocked down to just 8 big blinds.
They're very well executed there from Bin Wang. Probably extracted the maximum value that he could on that hand. So well done by him.
I wasn't even fully locked into this hand, thinking that it wouldn't go anywhere. And Bin Wang just managed to make something out of it, which is extremely impressive. First little misstep there for Darren Elias, now down to 6.4 million. Still, of course, by far and away our chip leader at this final table. If you want to hit us up at sales@pokergo.com for sponsorship opportunities, you can be on that beautiful LED rail. I just hope like a local bakery starts sponsoring us, Donnie, so we can maybe get like a discount on croissants.
With a king 6.
I'm here for you, man.
I'm in.
I appreciate that.
Pizza
Really.
joint, bakery,
You always say
coffee
kind words
shop.
to me. No matter I was joking, I was serious. You always gave me the kind word. You're so nice.
Bin Wen trying to make friends before running all over his opponents. Ace-10 suited. Comes in for a raise again.
I had a blackjack. Suited blackjack. Is this your first event?
No, I was just kidding around.
No, did you play? I mean, the event 1, first event.
Oh, yes.
Oh, so you
I
played
did
two?
not. No.
Oh, you do-
Yesterday was my first.
Oh, first event for the Poker Master.
Yeah.
I'm not saying your first tournament.
No.
That's not what I meant. Yeah.
I do this like recreationally, but I play a lot of tournaments. So
I see. Probably not me. When I own a Japanese restaurant, I play quite a few in the East Coast,
yeah.
but not all the time. But yeah, quite a few. Now I quit. Only play poker now.
That's nice. So I'm sure I saw that you're doing very well.
I appreciate it. Yeah, especially this year. Yeah,
Congrats.
great year for me.
All in?
Eric Baldwin, Jack 10 offsuit. He's going to go for
I
it.
don't have a hand to call with. No.
De La Cruz is going to let it go.
I get self-conscious when I rake a pot because you know it's like the close-up shot.
You're not folding the ace-10 there. No, I just joking.
What's that?
I just joking. I said you're not folding the ace-10.
Oh no, of course not.
I was joking. It's a snap call. Ace-10.
10-7 off.
Yeah. Ace-10 is snap call. Oh, I called one of your card. I say ace-10. Pretty close.
Let's see.
Elias here coming in with the raise. Queen jack off. Seven-six off for Ben Wang in the big blind. Like to see a defend from him, as we've seen many times so far at this final table. There is the call. Jack, 9, 8. Straight draw for Ben Wang. Top pair. And also a straight draw for Darren Elias.
Just like yesterday, not a boring hand at this entire final table. So much action going on. Wang reaching, comes along to see the turn. Turn card, ace of diamonds. This might slow Elias down a little bit.
Check there on the turn. 4 on the river.
Elias's pair of jacks is good here. Let's see if Ben Wang wants to get creative.
I played the board, I guess.
Elias takes that one down
So
at showdown.
close. I thought it was 5.
Small clash between these two. I feel like we've seen quite the opposite many times.
I know I have to go very
Little
big.
breath of fresh air there.
Then I have a possible to let you go away with a jack. Probably like very big. You probably put me on.
Darren Elias still in full control of this final table, with Ben Wang not going anywhere. The race for the Purple Jacket continues through September 26th, as we have 10 total events. You can see the buy-ins there on your screen. All streams starting at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, except for the final 50K starting at 6 p.m. Eastern. Donnie and I will do commentary for event number 3 on Monday, and then hand it over to Ali Najad and Maria Ho. I think Brent Hanks is going to be in the mix as well later this week for some commentary. We will still be doing our 1-hour previews for those events, but full broadcast can only be found on PokerGO.com.
Another small blind limp here from Ben Wang, this time with the King 10 of clubs. Darren Elias has 10-5 off in the big blind. Paired flop here between these two, 8-6-6. Wang checks. 80,000 minimum bet here from Elias. Gets it done. Nothing there for Wang to continue with.
All right, chat, let us know. Do you think that Elias is going to close this out? Is Bin Wang going to continue to chip up, or will we see a comeback from one of our shorter stacks? Curious to see what you guys and girls think at home. Also, let us know what the rest of your Saturday will look like. I've just been informed, Donnie, that I'm going out for Mexican food tonight. So I mentioned earlier that I'm a big fan of breakfast burritos. Well, I might have a burrito again for dinner.
All in.
Darren Elias applying the pressure on Eric Baldwin. Look at that, Queen 8. Donnie, give us some all-in math. What kind of hand can Baldwin call with here, given the fact that he is the short stack?
Probably Queen 9 suited, Queen 10 off, plus. Don't think Queen 8 is good enough.
How short do you need to be to call with Queen 8?
Short.
Like 6 bigs.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you need to want to be shorter. There's probably a good chance you're going to find something a little bit better in these next couple hands. Baldwin now on just over 10 big blinds. De La Cruz on 18. Wang on 35 and Elias on 86 big blinds. Under the gun here, Wang is coming in with the raise. Mystery hand though. Baldwin in the small blind. With that short stack, has king at 10 of diamonds. Could pull the trigger here.
10 seconds.
Here we go.
500.
We raised 500.
Baldwin committing the majority of his chips here as De La Cruz finds ace-5 off. That goes into the muck.
You can show him.
Let's see if
Did you get it?
Wang gets involved. Decides to muck, and Baldwin picks this one up.
Probably had the best hand.
I don't think he did, sir. Not with the old Jack 8 off.
.23, Donnie. Eric Baldwin. 43 live cashes. How many days are there in the year? Like, feels like he's just
I'll tell
cashing.
you this. Every time I go play poker somewhere in this city, he's usually there.
That's crazy.
At the start, it could be a $400 buy-in. At the win,
Unreal.
level 1, first pitch off the deck, Eric Baldwin is in a seat. It's unbelievable.
I mean, that's how
The
you.
grind this guy has.
I was gonna say that's how you can be a poker professional. If you have that type of grind in you.
Right, doesn't he have a family? Kids? Wife?
Maybe he forgot about them. De La Cruz, ace-9 off in the small blind. Just makes the call. Wang, queen-jack offsuit in the big blind. Let's see if he's going to bump it up a little bit here. Wang loves playing big pots. Whoa, moves all in.
Oh, you trapping?
And De La Cruz snaps it off. I did not see this coming, Donnie. I just thought maybe a little bit of a small raise, but here we go. De La Cruz
will not be pushed around no more.
the owner of Tony's Pizzeria in New York City.
So what's
At
like the
risk here.
percentages here?
40, 60.
You're at 60-40.
It is indeed about 60-40
First
here.
bin? Yeah, I'm going dead. Yeah.
For spin, you probably got 20%, man. The way he's running this year.
Oh my God. Let us know in the chat. Can De La Cruz survive this? He is ahead. Here's the flop. Jack 5-10. And they were joking, but they were also right as Wang takes the lead here. And all of a sudden, De La Cruz down to just 3 outs. Turn card, the Jack of clubs. And that just seals it. The one moment you're chilling, the next moment you're out the door. Tony De La Cruz,
Great game, man.
great showing, collecting $97,000 for his efforts. And all of a sudden, we are down to the final 3 in this event. Players are flying out. This has been quite the final table with Wang on an absolute tear ever since he became the short stack. Now up to 50 big blinds and 4 million chips. Eric Baldwin once again laddering up, Donnie.
Ladder, ladder, ladder.
I'm just stay here for now.
I think now that we've seen Baldwin hit the top 3, we'll start seeing his chips get involved quite a bit more.
Yeah, of course, Baldwin has a lot to overcome here. Only 14 big blinds. Wang has 50. Elias has 86. And look at the mountain of chips over there. Absolutely massive. 3 players remaining here battling for the title in event number 2 of the 2023 Poker Masters.
What was the river card?
Here's a look at the payouts
I know
so
he was
far.
Yeah, I know.
40 players cashed.
I didn't even look at
Alex
it.
Foxon was the first to go today in
Probably
7th
Jack.
place.
I like that comment. 40-60 response. I cannot tell you.
2080, right?
Maybe even less.
Wang lost 2 all-ins to start
For the
today.
very, very, very strong hit.
And ever since then, has not lost a hand.
Oh,
so it
we're good.
seems.
I throw my smoke.
All right, look at that. All right, very short color up break. We're going to be back in about 5 minutes. See you guys very soon. Action will continue right after this.
Take your game to the next level with GTO Wizard, the #1 app for poker players. Start crushing at GTOWizard.com.
A bet on the flop.
No is the answer as he checks back.
Check.
Eric still disinterested.
Perhaps I think with that check back on the flop, a delayed c-bet is in order. I feel like you can represent some of the Jack X's, connecting with the pair on the turn. And also, you know that you're not going to be able to show down 8 high as a winner. Still trying to realize his equity there, though, with the check on the turn. And now on the river, you show up in a spot where you're not going to be able to win at showdown. Feels like that's always a good reason to fire one. Got to be able to try to get rid of these king high, queen high type hands. You would think that if Seidel had a decent ace high, that he would have put Tamasauskas' stack at risk pre.
380,000.
Full pot size attempt here on the extra delayed bluff.
And this is really interesting because Seidel knows that ace high wouldn't really go for this sizing on the river, even if they elected to bet this for value with the board pairing on the river. It doesn't quite make sense. You know, an ace high would probably go smaller, try to capture value from king high and queen high. And could Tamasauskas possibly be repping an overpair when he checks back the flop and the turn with that much coordination on the flop? I don't think so.
I don't either. And I think Eric senses that maybe something's afoot too, but nevertheless, he concedes.
Yeah, the sizing just really peculiar for a lot of the hands that would check through until the river, but still ends up getting through.
So there is Tamasauskas' bio board, brought to you by GPI and the Hendon Mob. Event 1 champ, as we mentioned, number 5 now on Lithuania's all-time money list with 2.2 million in earnings. He was number 6 coming into that event. Well, the final drawing for the PokerGO annual subscriber Dream Seat giveaway is going to take place on September 30th. Become an annual subscriber before then in order to get entered for your chance to play in our $1 million free roll. Visit get.pokergo.com/dream to join or upgrade today. Use the promo code DREAM20 to save $20 on your first year. No purchase necessary. For official rules, visit pokergo.com/rules.
It's under 20,000.
King Jack for Bin Wang, and open to $120. Now earlier we were trying to locate the missing $2 million discrepancy between the 7.1 figure that we had read for Bin's career tournament earnings versus the 5.2 we saw on the screen. That 5.2, Maria, that was only in 2023. How about that for a year, by the way?
I mean, I feel like this is what I'm saying. The man's come out of nowhere virtually, and looking at his bio, he really started playing more during the pandemic, as so many players do, but those players certainly haven't put up the same type of results that he has.
Event 2 summary brought to you by GTO Wizard. Dan Shack, Ryan Reese out in 9th and 10th, respectively. And don't say that Bin Wang came out of nowhere, Maria. The name of the city is Philadelphia. How dare you speak of it in that way?
You're right.
The city of brotherly love and
even more offensive.
Cheesesteak debates.
Right. That was more offensive to his mom than anybody else.
I love on his bio, by the way, that one of Bin Wang's hobbies is cooking. I like to get in the kitchen. This is we might have to have a chat. Maybe we get an Iron Chef situation.
I think it's about time that we have another poker player on MasterChef. You know, can't let D-Dub.
David, $5 million for Darren Elias, brought to you by Card Player. Queen 10 off suit. Tamasauskas uninterested.
Welcome back to the PokerGO Studio in Las Vegas. Action hot and heavy here inside this building. We are down to the final 3 in event number 2 of the Poker Masters. Thank you all so much for joining. My name is Remko Rinkema. Donnie Peters alongside me. Maria Ho and Alina Jad are on the call on PokerGo.com. Let us know where you're watching from in the chat. We are live on YouTube and Twitch with our free streaming today. It has been a pleasure already, and it's going to be a lot of fun to see who will take this one down. Darren Elias on top, 70 big blinds. Bin Wang back up to 3.9 million, and there it is. Eric Baldwin, the short stack. He's been wiggling his way up the payouts, now sitting on 1.1 million, looking for a quick double up as the blinds now 50K, 100K as we return from this short break. All right, we hit 300 likes. Time to do a giveaway for a free PokerGO subscription. Another good reason for you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, so make sure to do so right now. If you are subscribed to the channel, you can enter our giveaway contest. Let me think of a funny question. As Bin Wang on the very first hand here finds Queen 10 offsuit. Can only imagine he's going to raise it up. Wang makes it 250 to go. Here's a look at our final table payouts presented by Volado. Check out flyvolado.com if you are ever interested in using a private jet, Donnie. All the time, right?
Every day.
You've been on a private jet once. I know this.
I have quite the experience. If you have the means, I would say take advantage of it.
Right.
At least once in your life.
But you got invited to join.
I did. I had to pay exactly $0. And it was incredible.
I'd love to be on a private jet. Baldwin, King 7 off in the small blind. Donnie, are we just ripping the vast majority of hands here.
All in.
9 big blinds.
Yep, going for it. I like it.
Bin Wang lets it go. All right, for our giveaway question, let's bring up a topic that I'm a big fan of: the Mount Rushmore of poker. Who are your 4 players on the Mount Rushmore of poker? Let me know in the chat right now who your 4 picks are. I'll pick a random submission from everyone in the chat in a few hands' time, and one of your lucky winners, or one of you lucky people, will be the winner and receive a PokerGO subscription. So there you go. Mount Rushmore. Donnie, put you on the spot right here. Give me 4 names.
Ivy. Doyle.
Hard to argue with the first 2.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at that, huh?
Yeah, very good. 2 more. Halfway there.
Think I gotta put Chip Reese up there. Although I personally don't have a lot of experience covering or watching him play. It just seems like, by all accounts, he's the best of the best. And listen, honestly, I would put Negreanu up there.
There it is. Brunson, Ivy, Reese, and Negreanu.
I don't know why I always feel like Daniel doesn't get thrown into the greatest of all-time conversation as much as I think he should.
Yeah. I think
every time it's brought up, it's, you know, it's Chip Reese. People mention Stu Unger a lot. Obviously Doyle, and then Ivy. And then people try and argue about the Helmuth stuff, you know. But I don't know. I just don't feel like Daniel gets the respect in that regard, and I think he deserves a lot of it.
Well, the fact that Negreanu is still doing it to this day,
yeah,
that is, to me, the most impressive part. Bin Wang, King 6 suited on the button.
200,000.
A little min-raise action. Oh, we got lots of suggestions coming into the chat. Helmuth being mentioned quite a few times. The majority of people, Donnie, right in line with your thinking. Stefan is going for an all-Phil Mount Rushmore. Phil Helmuth, Phil Ivey, Phil Locke, Phil Galfond. I do like the creativity there. Baldwin, ace-4 offset in the big blind. There he is. He goes all in.
All in.
Bin Wang with the snap fold with King 6 suited. Unless we see a call, we might see a lot more shoving over the next few orbits, as Baldwin now up to 16 big blinds. Stu Unger being mentioned, Erik Seidel, Jason Kuhn. Darren Elias with a premium holding here. Jack 10 suited.
200,000.
Takes it down with the raise. Nothing playable for Baldwin or Wang.
Ben, you got 4 full stacks on the bottom, right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna leave this here.
Look at this. So cordial. Everyone getting along here at this final table. Donnie, is it a bit of a staring contest right now? Trying to see if Eric Baldwin can either double up or bust before we see any sort of big pots developing?
I mean, if you're Ben Wang and Darren Elias, I know Darren Elias, in relation to Ben Wang, has a 2-to-1 chip lead, but you still don't want to lose a lot of chips to Ben Wang because that's going to make your life much more difficult. And then if you're Bang Weng, I mean, you certainly don't want to bust before Eric Baldwin busts. I mean, there's a world where, you know, Eric Baldwin doubles up and gets right back into it, but until that happens, you're in a pretty good spot to make it to heads-up play, so don't go too crazy right now.
Is this a good example of that? King 10 of hearts, three-handed, pretty good hand, but
I mean, this is a spot where I think we're going to see Darren Elias really look to apply some pressure against Ben Weng. He's going to call here in position. Position so powerful and no limit hold'em, of course. Ace, queen 4, all clubs here. Both these players have red cards, so
feels a little bit like whoever's first to stab might be able to take this one down. Payouts are available in the description of this video. At the end of this hand, I will announce the winner of our giveaway. All you have to do to enter the giveaway is to give me 4 names in the chat who belongs on your Mount Rushmore of poker. Seeing some very creative submissions in there as well.
Wang elects to check his pair of queens here. Elias going to start betting 200K. A little bit less than a quarter pot. Wang makes the call. 6 on the turn. It's black, but it's not a club, it's a spade. Wang checks again. Elias checks behind. Deuce of hearts on the river. 1.25 million in the middle here. Ben Wang's got the check mark as long as he doesn't fold.
If you're Elias, is this the time to apply pressure knowing that Baldwin is still in here short?
I mean, if you don't think that your king high is good, and king high could have some showdown value here, then you're gonna bluff at it. He does not. He's gonna see the bad news.
Yeah, Elias checks behind, and Weng takes this one down. Weng and Elias now closer together than ever before. Baldwin's still the short stack. All right, let me put all these names in a hat.
It's a big hat.
It's a huge hat. The winner is Andre, let me say this right, Refsness. Andre Refsness. Congratulations. You get a free month of PokerGO action. Send an email to social@pokergo.com. Include a screenshot of you logged into your YouTube account. And we'll be in touch shortly, probably tomorrow, to get you set up with your free month of PokerGO. Andre Refsness. Congratulations. Next giveaway is 500 likes, just so you know. Darren Elias applying the pressure on Eric Baldwin.
Hanksy.
Oh.
Hanks in the booth.
Hanks is not in the booth, Eric, but we'll let him know. You got the mallards.
15 bigs.
We're also going to let him know if you fold them, because he would not be a fan.
The mallards. The emergency pair.
Sorry, Hanks.
Mallards?
Yeah.
Gives it up. Look at that.
For that one.
I don't know.
He's gonna get you.
He is going to get him.
Word will travel back to Brent Hanks that the mallards were discarded. Eric Baldwin remains the short stack with 14 bigs, but still, hey, 14 bigs, you can do plenty of damage with that.
I don't know, maybe I should add faith in him.
Hanks is in the chat. Said, son of a. I mean,
You're just trolling me.
some people don't know how to play the Ducks, man. It's, you know.
Clearly a huge mistake by Baldwin, who gets punished for his fold, receiving 7 deuce the very next hand. Eric Baldwin still in the mix here as we are 3-handed for the title at the 2023 Poker Masters event number 2. Check out GTO Wizard if you want to find out whether you should have played those mallards, yes or no. Scan the QR code on your screen or go to gtowizard.com/PokerGo. Enjoy a special offer and use the best poker training software in the world to perhaps one day find yourself here inside the studio. A real hand here for Baldwin. King, queen off. Going for the larger sizing. It gets through, and Eric Baldwin takes this one down. Second career PGT final table for Eric Baldwin. I mean, he would have probably signed right there on the spot at the start of today for 3rd place. Interesting dynamics right now as we're seeing lots of tiptoeing. Nobody wants to make a big mistake here with Eric Baldwin, the short stack, sitting on 16 big blinds. Limp pot here between the 2 blinds. Baldwin flopping a pair. Action continues to get checked in this small pot. This hand, of course, a lot more meaningful for Baldwin than it is for Elias. Does go check, check, and Baldwin takes this one down.
The almighty 8-3 offsuit. Getting it done.
Donnie seems a bit lethargic at the table right now.
Yeah, I mean, things are just slowing down a little bit. I think we saw a little bit of this yesterday as well, but tournament poker has its ups and downs. Got a lot of good action up until this point, so nothing more than a little bit of balance here. I'm sure it'll pick up in due course. Elias coming in on the button 9-6 of diamonds. Ace-5 of clubs here for Ben Wang out of the big blind.
fault.
King 9 deuce rolls off the deck, 2 spades. Elias pairs his 9.
Yeah, Elias with that 9 and backdoor diamonds. Can start building a pot here. Nothing to continue with for Wang, and he gives it up.
Pot stays small for now. All right, that woke me up. Some beats for your ears. Darren Elias still in control at this final table. If you want to do your own unique special events here at the PokerGO Studio, contact us at events@pokergo.com. Birthday parties, weddings, poker games, hit us up. Eric Baldwin still our short stack, 10-7 offsuit. It's going to play it pretty close to the vest here. Lets it go. Elias receives a walk in the big blind. Of course, can't be too splashy either because the points are potentially worth so much at the end of this series. So for Bin, Wang, and Elias, they just want to give themselves the best chance to get to heads-up play.
Here goes Money Cat. Did Money Cat make the table, or did we get rid of it before we started today?
I think people knew he was kind of no good. Chucked him.
Nobody wanted it? How could nobody want Renlin's Money Cat?
The Money Cat was at the table yesterday in front of Renlin. Donnie, if you had the bankroll, could you grind the way Eric Baldwin does? You referred to it earlier that he is always there every single day, just playing every single tournament that he can find.
Yeah, I would love to take on the challenge.
Wow, that's a big one. I don't think I could do it. Too intense for me. He's got to be focused all the time. Never listens to music, so it seems. Always engaged.
Sometimes he'll have headphones in. He is generally always focused. I would say rarely looks at his phone, at least rarely in comparison to a lot of other players who are like, look at their hand, fold, right back on their phone.
Right.
Worse than the last one.
3-7.
7 trade.
But that's what it takes, man.
Playing the wrong game.
Darren Elias comfortable sitting on 6.8 million chips. We saw so many big all-ins in the early goings of this final table. Now we're just waiting for a big one. I asked earlier, what else are you guys up to today on this lovely Saturday? Didn't see too many responses. Anyone else going to go play some live poker later today? Maybe, I don't know, catch a movie? Is there anything good playing in the movie theater, by the way? I haven't been in so long.
200,000.
Your guess is as good
When's
as mine.
the last time you went to the movie theater, Donnie?
Couldn't tell you.
Really?
It's been years. Bro, I get kids now.
Wow. I love the movie theater.
So do I. I love it.
Then tell your wife, see ya.
I wish it was that easy.
Oh, it's not?
No.
I did start watching The Bear on Hulu.
Yeah.
Absolutely stellar. One of my favorite shows ever. I'm on the season 2 finale as we swing on over to event number 3. A little look into the room here as we have another 10K No Limit Hold'em event going on. I see Lucky Chewy, Adrian Mateos, Jim Colopy, Dylan Lindy, Alex Foxen in the background, busted earlier. He's going to get involved again. It's a really funny dynamic here at the studio. These guys, of course, battling every single day, but most of them are also friends. You know, they go way back. They've been playing forever. Makes for a very interesting atmosphere.
200,000.
Tournament players, tournament dealers, 15, 3 and 3. Go ahead, get them in here. 15, 3 and 3.
Raise and take for Eric Baldwin there with the ace-queen off. Still not too much going on.
Here's a look at our tournament update. 97 entries, 3 remain. Average stack 4 million. Darren Elias the only player above average. Still plenty of big blinds left in play.
All in.
All in.
Darren Elias putting that pressure on Eric Baldwin. Of course, can't just call any two here. Has to be mindful of his holding. Let's see, what do we got here in the chat? Arctic Revival says, NASCAR in about 20 minutes, F1 tomorrow morning. I must say, I love watching sports on the West Coast. It is the best. I get to watch my European sports in the morning. Then I can watch some football, maybe some tennis, close the night out with something, and I'm still in bed before 10 p.m. Imagine watching football on the East Coast on you. How did you do it back in the day?
I don't know. You know, being here on the West Coast now, I don't understand.
John says, played golf, took money off 2 of my 3 playing partners. There you go.
7-6 of diamonds here for Eric Baldwin. And there it goes. Out of the small blind. He is all in.
Oh.
The Mallards go over to Ben Wang.
Your count, please.
What's he going to do?
I mean, he's got to...
Is he going to find the muck with these ducks like Eric Baldwin did, or is he going to put the chips in and we're going to have a clash?
He's going to ask Brent Hanks for some advice, but he doesn't have to.
This come back to haunt you.
Yo, this would be sick.
I mean, this would be a bit of torture for Eric Baldwin if he ends up losing to these ducks, huh?
Wow. Eric Baldwin at risk here with 7-6 of diamonds. Tons of outs here. Overcards, diamonds, straight draw. But hey.
So you don't like my fold against Darren?
He's up against the Mallards.
Somebody gotta do some work. Sometimes.
Getting bored?
Someone's got to do some work sometimes, and Ben Wang trying to eliminate Eric Baldwin. 7 in the window right away for Baldwin.
We have 1.4.
I don't want to jinx it.
Prepay, he's got all the tricks.
You are Ben Wang.
Oh my God, he called out the spades. There's a 3rd spade on the turn. 11 outs now for Ben Wang. Eric Baldwin seemingly already thinking that it's over for him, but he is well ahead here. 75% to double up. River card is the queen of clubs. It was black, but not the spade. Eric Baldwin now back in the mix, and Ben Wang all of a sudden the short stack at this final table. Donnie, all of a sudden the tables turn.
Tables do turn. But Ben Wang's been down at the bottom of the leaderboard before. We saw him got down to 4 big blinds earlier in this final table and fought his way all the way back. So he is the shortest stack among these 3, but still 21 big blinds. So pretty healthy. He's got some play left.
Ducks are a finicky creature.
That's gonna make you feel good about the fold, though. They came full circle.
Jason Keller says nearly lunchtime here. Must be in Australia. Has Deion Sanders won again already? It's,
No, I think the game is tonight.
It's Saturday,
Yeah,
college
the
football.
game's tonight.
All right.
Is that what they call foie gras? Is that like
That's duck. That's where they force feed the duck.
and they like massage them?
I think it's something with the liver. Like I don't like it. I've had it.
It's no good.
It's too rich.
Foie gras, for those unfamiliar. Didn't have Eric Baldwin pegged as a foie gras guy to begin with. More of a burger and fries type dude.
I feel like he's a salmon Caesar salad type of guy.
Salmon Caesar salad, out of left field with that one. Let's assign some meals here to these guys. Salmon Caesar salad. I'm going to go burger and fries for Eric Baldwin. We heard earlier that Weng owned a Japanese restaurant, so I guess we can give him perhaps some sushi. And then Darren Elias.
I mean,
he-
brisket. I mean, what?
He's the king of barbecue.
Yeah, I know. It's probably a biscuit and a beer. I mean,
Yep, definitely.
here we
Nice.
go. Elias versus Baldwin here. Blind versus blind. Ace, queen, 6, 2 hearts. Got the 10-9 of spades for Elias. Got the king, deuce of diamonds for Baldwin. So both players whiffing here. Elias had raised out of the small blind, made it 275K, and Baldwin defended. 200K is the bet here as Elias tries to represent connecting with that board. Baldwin shows the deuce and puts his hand into the muck. Healthy chip lead for Mr. Elias there. 61% of the chips in play are in his stack.
And there's a look at that purple jacket. Awaiting the winner of this series. 10 total events. Points for every cash. Final event is a 50K buy-in. Usually lots of moving and shaking of the standings in that final event. Cindy says, Elias must be a protein shake guy. I have Elias more as like a dad strength guy.
Yeah, for sure, dad strength. 100%.
Right. Elias takes another one down. Weng, by the way, now down to 18 bigs.
There you see the past Poker Masters champions, those that already have a purple jacket. Sean Winter, the defending champion. Have yet to see Mr. Winter this series.
I've only seen Sam Soverell of those defending or former champs.
Yep.
Sam Soverell, I believe, lives inside the studio. Has a little tent in the back hallways.
I mean, it might be behind that LED wall. You know, he's just shacked up back there. I would not be surprised.
Every time I walk into this building, I see Sam Soverell.
275.
275K out of the small blind from Darren Elias with the 8-6 off. Baldwin's got a playable one. Might see him get this in here. Ace Jack off.
On.
There it is. Quick fold from Elias, and Baldwin takes that one. Baldwin closing the gap a little bit between him and Elias, but probably more importantly, widening the gap between him and Ben Wang. Ben Wang now on 18 big blinds, Baldwin on 28, and Darren Elias way up at top, almost 75 big blinds. A lot of play left.
Yeah, I was going to say very impressive stuff from Baldwin. So sort of calm at the table, just waiting for his spots, not trying to force anything, not any big risks or gambles. All of a sudden he finds himself in a great situation to potentially be heads up here for the title.
Walk here on this one for Ben Wang, and he looked down and saw the king-queen suited, so probably wanted to get involved with that one. Chance to put some chips in the middle, but his opponents don't give him the opportunity. We talked about it at the top of the show, Ben Wang coming into this final table with the chip lead. He's already won more than $5.2 million this year. Has a few seven-figure scores already. His first final table inside the PokerGO Studio is this one right here that he's making. He's making the most of it down to three-handed play. Ben Wang did cash in event number 1 here at the 2023 Poker Masters. Took 16th place for 17K. That's 17 points on the leaderboard, so
I wonder how Eric Baldwin is doing on the overall standings this year.
Low.
Low?
Oh.
I think he's got around 100 points, something like that.
So he needs to start with a win.
Yes. Ben Wang electing to limp the small blind here, continuing with that limping strategy, blind versus blind against Elias. Elias checks the 9-6 off from the big blind. These two are going to go heads up to the flop. Ace 7-3, rainbow. Nice little Badoogie hand on the flop. $100,000 from Ben Wang. Some thought from Elias there, but ultimately kicks it in.
Stacks now drawing pretty close between Baldwin and Wang. Donnie, do you think that as Wang approaches Baldwin's stack size, Elias is going to turn up the heat a little bit because he can take advantage of both players?
Yeah, I mean, it helps when those two stacks are even, or puts, you know, Elias in a good spot to really be able to apply pressure equally against both opponents. Whatever does happen, as long as Baldwin or Wang don't come close to Elias, I think Elias will be just fine, nice and comfortable. And he'll be comfortable here with the king jack off in the small blind.
275,000.
No snap fold from Baldwin. Five deuce suited, not what I expected, but
show the deuce. That's right.
have to show the deuce.
Interesting to see the differing strategies of small blind play here. Wang has been always limping his small blinds throughout the final table. Darren Elias has had some mixing between limping and raising, but as of late, with this chip lead that he has, he's been electing to come in with raises. He's been going with 2.75x as his sizing. Elias is looking for his second PGT victory inside the PokerGO Studio. His first came earlier this season on the PokerGO Tour. He won an event at the US Poker Open back in March. Elias is currently 32nd on the season-long PGT leaderboard with 885 points. Those points do not include whatever he earns here today. Here we see Elias on the button. Ace-6 comes in with a min-raise, and Baldwin picks up a premium, but a drawing hand, Remko, the ace-king of spades.
Yeah, definitely. Baldwin here with a chance to chip up nicely here with a strong ace.
150,000.
So we've seen a lot of times Baldwin, when he is 3-betting, he's really putting in a committing raise, right? Here, a hand as strong as ace-king suited. He's going to come with a little bit of a smaller sizing here, trying to induce some further action out of Elias. Of course, music to Baldwin's ears would be Elias 4-bet ripping this, but he's going to give it up. 8-6 off, not good enough. And Baldwin takes it down.
Yeah, Baldwin here up to 3 million. The peak of his tournament so far. From Beaver Dam, Wisconsin originally. First live cash dating back to April 2010.
Feels like ages ago.
Because it is.
It's not that long ago. I mean, come on. 13 years, 13 and a half years.
Quick little walk here for Elias.
Last hand of this level coming up, and then we're going to kick things up to what I believe is 75K small blind, 125K big blind. Wang here going to look down, see a nice one. Given that he's working with 18 big blinds, he's on the button, ace-jack off.
It's 200,000.
Min raise to 200K. Nothing there for Elias. Jack 7 off for Baldwin. May put this in the class that's just good enough to take a flop. No, sir.
Baldwin rather gives up his big blind than giving Weng a chance to out-chip him again.
Yep.
Darren Elias remains in the lead here as we look at the StormX chip counts. Eric Baldwin now up to second in chips. Weng third with 20 big blinds. Still anyone's game. If Weng doubles through Darren Elias, all of a sudden we have a pretty even match on our hands. But right now, Darren Elias the favorite to take down event number 2 here at the 2023 Poker Masters. Let us know in the chat who you are rooting for. Action continues. No breaks at this final table, at least not yet. Blinds now 75K, 125.
How much is that?
400.
Baldwin coming with a raise here with the 4-3 suited. Bin Wang forced to give up the 8-5 off. Solid pickup there from Baldwin. You know, not the biggest, wins the blinds and antes, but most importantly takes those blinds and antes away from Bin Wang. Keeps him down at the bottom of the leaderboard. I feel like every time I look at the leaderboard at the top of the screen, Bin Wang's got 1.8 million.
Yeah.
He's always just has 1.8 million. Of course, now with the blinds going up, he's down to 14 big blinds versus the 18 big blinds he was playing for most of the last level, but still sitting there on 1.8 million. Pocket nines here on the button for Eric Baldwin. Nice one here, three-handed.
Raise.
250 is the raise. Bin Wang out of the way. Players continuing to show the deuce. 6 deuce off. About as bad as it gets into the muck for Elias.
Since the start of play today, Elias up 6 million, Baldwin up 1.9 million, and Bin Wang down 2.1 million.
I had it took my brain, my gorilla brain about 40 seconds. Forgot he has 13 blinds.
125 is a weird one.
Little update here from event number 3. Ren Lin
Ben,
eliminated by
Dan
Legrano.
Oh, see? Let's just play 150.
1.5
14 big
12.
blinds.
That helps.
How do you do that? I can't do the math at this level.
That's 4, 4, 4. 4, 4.
Like I made it too much in the small blind there. 4. Oh, that's a good way to do it. Each stack is 4.
Yeah.
That's
125 times 4
Yeah,
is 500.
500 divided by 125 is 4.
Come on. Eric, you've been playing poker long enough.
Exactly, Ben.
But you
Tell
that
him.
often, right? 125 is probably, yeah.
Yeah, don't mess with me.
You're joking, I know.
Eric Baldwin, the highest volume live tournament player in all of Las Vegas.
You make
Stumped
400 even, right?
by the big blind right
I
now.
did, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. 3x. You would have made like 600 or something like crazy. That still wasn't that bad.
Yeah, raised to 400 out of the small
I
blind.
thought they
Wasn't too crazy.
min
I mean,
raise.
it was larger, of course. But
That's so bad overhand.
You use the big blinds when you play online? Like if the site has it, will you convert it?
No, I only play on WSOP, and I don't think you can do that there.
Chad, you can't do anything.
No, I don't think they have that feature yet.
It's only 2023, guys. By the way, as I was saying, a little update from event number 3. Among the big stacks right now, Justin Saliba, Chance Corneth, Lucky Chewy, Shannon Shore, world-famous boxer Ryan Garcia in the mix again. Anthony Hu, Daniel Negreanu, Aram Zobian, runner-up of event number 1. Dylan Lindy also in the mix. Plenty of big names trying to make a run. Entry still open for that event until 5 p.m. local time in Las Vegas.
How long have we been playing since the break?
forever.
Like almost an hour, like 50 minutes?
45 minutes.
I see fucking one ace. Where's all the aces? You guys had all the aces down there. I see one ace of spade.
Oh, I got 2 cards off the top there.
Oh, so mixed deal?
Those are
I
stacked.
don't know which I'm which.
If he's got 2, it's missed it.
They were stuck together. I don't know if you need to.
5 million in earnings for the year. But Bin Wang still complaining about his cards like a true poker player would. Here's a look at our final table overview. Baldwin, Bin Wang, and Darren Elias. Monster earnings for all of them. Donnie, this final table is insane compared to last night. Last night we had Aram Zobian with 1.6 million for his largest score. These guys combined could like buy the Aria if they wanted to. Look at all the money here. Jesus.
How cheap do you think the Aria is?
I mean, they got a lot of money here.
Baldwin with the ace jack off on the button. It's going to make it 250. That's a min raise. 7-6 off in the muck for Ben Wang, 10-6 off in the muck for Darren Elias. An exercise in patience for Eric Baldwin at this final table. Came in on the shorter side, but was extremely patient early on. Really didn't get involved much at all, and just kind of laddered his way up and up and up. Next thing you know, he's three-handed, and now that he's three-handed, he's been chipping up nicely.
I'm not joking.
You got about 25 blinds.
Finds
How
himself
many?
here with 26, 27 big
25.
blinds. Firmly in the middle between chip leader
2.5
Darren
would be
Elias
20
and shorter
blinds,
stack
right? All right.
Ben Wang.
Hanks is just looking at you with disapproval.
Pocket eights here for Darren Elias in the small blind. We'll see if he continues with that small blind racing strategy that he's been deploying as of late.
By the way, much love to everyone watching, both if you're new, just joining us for the very first time, or if you're a regular. We love having you all with us here today. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like the video. We're going to be back for more on Monday, Event 3 final table. Hopefully Negreanu can make it. Maybe Chance Corneth, you know. I just want like 7 new faces. So we have...
No, I want Tamasauskas to just be at every final table.
That'd
But
be
the other 6 can be different.
All right. Let's do that.
We'll rotate in the other 6, but we're just going to reserve a seat for Tamasauskas. Event 1 winner came in, finished at the final table of this event, so great start to the series for the Lithuanian. Pocket fours here for Eric Baldwin. Let's see how he plays this one. Could see him certainly look to get the money in, whether that's going to be a shove, whether it's going to be a limp shove here. He's just going to put Ben Wang to the test.
9-8 suited.
9-8 suited.
It's one of those hands. If Baldwin would have showed his cards, would Wang have called for the pure flip?
I mean, it would make him feel a lot better if he saw the cards.
I'm gonna use the lens
calling.
words, no gamble, no future.
Wow,
call.
does that mean he's calling? Is that
Oh,
a call?
wow.
Is that a call?
That is a call. I love it. Let's gamble. Why not? 9-8 suited against fours. Eric Baldwin does not look too happy.
I feel like Eric Baldwin
Thank
and
you,
Darren Elias kind of just looked at each other like, wait, what's happening?
You're ruthless with that.
You should get his money cat real quick.
Ben Wang channeling that Ren Lin energy, calling for the no gamble, no future. The winner of over $5 million this year. 3 outright 7-figure scores. Here's the flop. 9, 10, 3. Ben Wang takes the lead. Eric Baldwin searching for a 4 to get back into this. Turn card. The Jack of Spades.
Always like that.
Baldwin now picking up the spades. 11 outs. It could be there for Baldwin. Ben Wang
Red card.
on the brink of a double up. Asking for a red card. River is the 10 of spades.
Good game, buddy.
Nice play, man.
Good game.
And Ben Wang hits the rail.
GG.
Great game, Ben.
Good game.
He
Good luck.
gambled.
Good luck for both of you.
And this means there's no more future for him in this event.
Do we sit next to each other?
Wang collects $116,400 for his efforts.
Yeah, I'll move down there.
And Eric Baldwin
No
now
pride.
has made his way to heads-up play after being one of the short stacks to start this final table. Ladies and gentlemen, we are down to heads-up play. Darren Elias versus Eric Baldwin. Let us know in the chat who you think is going to win. Donnie, I did not see that river card coming. I thought this was all for Ben Wang.
I mean, I'm kind of shocked he put the money in, to be honest. I mean, but, you know, I think Ben Wang leads to be a little bit more gambly than the normal poker player, and he almost got the job done there. Was the river card away? But ultimately, the best hand going in won.
There was a look at those Storm X chip counts heading into Heads Up Play. Don't forget about our free social media giveaway. Play in the PGT Championship $1 million free roll. Give yourself at least a chance. Go to pgt.com/gleam to enter our raffle for free or scan the QR code on your screen right now. We are sending some lucky people to play in that $1 million free roll. And you might get to play against the likes of a Darren Elias and Eric Baldwin, or maybe even someone like a Daniel Negreanu. Here's a look at our 2023 PGT leaderboard. Dan Weinman, the main event winner, on top still, but might not be for long as the players here inside the studio are trying to rack up points left, right, and center. Chris Brewer, Isaac Haxton, second and third, and then the second and third place finishers in the World Series Poker main event, Stephen Jones and Adam Walton completing the top 5. All right, we are back inside the studio here. The trophy is on the table. Darren Elias and Eric Baldwin about to square off.
You can't chop the points. Oh, okay. Then I guess we play it then.
Well, can we chop the money and play?
Yeah.
Monetarily, you guys can do anything you want.
Yeah.
And you guys
All right, little chop talk.
Yeah, so what's being talked about right now is a possible deal between these two players. It's $223,000 for first place. It's $155,000 for second place. They are allowed to do whatever they want with the money.
Right.
Eric Baldwin could agree to take $1 and all the rest of the money could go to Darren Elias. The points, though, the points are locked in. We are in a 10K PGT event, so the points are 1-to-1 conversion from prize money to points. So first place, however it results, is going to be 223 points. Second place is going to be 155 points.
By the way,
points are locked.
Seeing Daniel Negreanu, Chance Corneth, Chino Ream, all at the same table there. Chris Brewer there in the 2 seat, if I recognize that back.
Yeah, and Victoria Lifshitz in the 1 seat, who we saw at the final table of yesterday's event.
Ren Lin there as well. Lots of big stars out as Ben Weng is up there to collect his payout, potentially going straight into the very next event. Kristen Foxen here at the bottom of your screen, sitting at the table with Stephen Chidwick. All the stars came out to play for the Poker Masters. We are heads up in event number 2. Quick little look back at the players that we saw depart the set here. Alex Foxen, Tamasauskas, or clubhouse leader when it comes to the points. Erik Seidel, not his day today. Lots of players with a shot here at the title. Tony de la Cruz played well, played aggressive, had some chances, but ultimately fell to Ben Weng, and then Weng was the next player to get eliminated. As there's been a bit of deal talk here between Darren Elias and Eric Baldwin as we await heads-up action getting underway. Looks as though the players are now ready to get the action going again. Like Donnie said, the points cannot be chopped, but the money can. Not sure what the players decided on, but cards are going in the air.
Playing some games with my eyes here with Baldwin on the other side of the table now.
Yeah, you're right. That does look funny. We're still playing 75K 150. Donnie, do you think that Elias cares more about the points than Baldwin does?
Yeah, probably a little bit. I mean, actually, yes, because when Baldwin brought up, possibly doing a deal, Elias knew that they couldn't chop the points, so he's right. Already aware of the situation, So I think that just lends itself to Elias being aware of these PGT events, and honestly, we see more of Elias in the studio, so he's probably just a little bit more familiar with these tournaments. That said, could be a bit of a jumping off point, at least PGT-wise, for Eric Baldwin here, which would be great to see. You alluded to it earlier. The guy grinds and grinds and grinds. He has a lot of big scores, but isn't really a regular like a lot of these guys are at the 10K plus buy-in scene. But maybe with some early success that we see here, we start seeing a little bit more of Basebaldy.
Eric Baldwin, very consistent on the live felt. Every single year, he seems to cash for at least 6 figures. Already up to 420K this year, 515 last year, 340 the year before. Of course, also putting in a lot of money for buy-ins, but You know, consistency is key on the felt. Baldwin came very close to a massive score at the World Series of Poker, finishing 6th in the 10K 6 max for 155K back in July. Baldwin commanding lead in this hand here with the pair of kings. Baldwin going for value here with his pair of kings. Elias left with just ace high. How's your heads up game lately, Donnie?
You got to make it the heads up in order to have a heads up game. Okay.
Yeah, let us know in the chat. When were you last heads up in a tournament? How
much is in play?
Can honestly say that I don't remember.
You got 3 on the bottom over there, right? Like 3 on your base.
Yeah.
Just in case I ever need to like double check. Thanks. So you got like
6.5.
6.5. So I should have 5.5.
Baldwin picks this one up, closing the gap even more so. Anyone's game right now. Let me put a poll in the chat, Donnie, to see who the fans think will win this one. I want your prediction on the poll results, Donnie. The percentages.
I think it'll be Elias, 63%.
63%. All right, let's go. Started the poll in our YouTube chat. By the way, if you're just joining us, we are heads up in event number 3. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Darren Elias versus Eric Baldwin.
$350, yeah.
I'm sorry, it's 350, yeah. 350.
All right, raise on the button here from Baldwin, queen jack off. Elias defends the big blind, 7-4 off. 9-5-3, 2 diamonds. Elias first, he checks. Baldwin checks behind.
Kyle Anderson says last time he was heads up was in 2009. I feel as though
That's about right. I mean,
I'm not too far off of that, probably.
Ace on the turn. Elias checks again. We'll see if Baldwin wants to start bluffing at this one now. Try and represent that ace after being the pre-flop raiser on the button. He's not. He's going to check. 4 on the river. That gives Elias the best hand with a pair of 4s. So $200K from Elias. Quarter pot here.
All for a mallard.
Baldwin gives that one up, and Elias takes it. For as big of a chip lead as Darren Elias had for much of this final table, the heads-up play started pretty close. About 55% of the chips in play started with Elias, and then 45% were for Eric Baldwin.
10-9 off for Elias. Very nice hand for heads-up play.
He's going to limp the button here, and Baldwin's got a nice one too, Jack-8 suited. He checks. Could see an interesting flop here if it connects with both players. Ace-King-9, 1 diamond. Elias bet 150K, and Baldwin's going to make the call. Wrapped around that 9 a little bit. And he's got 3 diamonds also. 6 clubs on the turn, though. Baldwin checks again. Elias still with the best of it here with his pair of 9s. Checks back. King pairs the board on the river. $750,000 in the middle. Baldwin coming with 80% pot, 600K.
How hard is this call to make, Donnie?
I mean, it's a tricky one. There can be some aces that Baldwin has. He could certainly have a king here. And there's not really a ton of draws that missed here, so does he just have like total air, or is he more on the value side? And he does give it up, gives up the best hand, so Baldwin able to get that one through. Well done by him.
Yeah, Baldwin doing very well here in the early goings. Fighting for these pots. Elias, though, still the chip leader. Let me check in on our poll to see what the numbers say. Donnie, 53%, 54% now saying that it's going to be Darren Elias. Very close. As close as the chip count. Look at this. Look at the screen. The chip count percentages are exactly the same as the poll percentages.
That's great.
People just playing the numbers. Love to see it.
Baldwin on the button, 5 deuce suited. He raises 350K, and Darren Elias is coming along from the big blind with king 9 off. Ace, Jack, 4, 2 diamonds. So nice flop here for Baldwin in position. Got a bit of a combo draw working after being the pre-flop aggressor. 200K is the bet.
Are you just forced, Donnie, to continue with king high hands and heads up play all the time because if you let go of them too quickly, you're just going to get run over?
Yeah. I mean, it's probably more of like a greater general idea that you're going to have to continue heads up with a lot more marginal holdings. You can't just always wait for like top pair because you're just going to get run over if that's the case, right? So yeah, king highs, you know, second pair, third pair, stuff like that. You're just going to have to be willing to put some chips in. Elias does get a good turn card here, having the king of diamonds in his hand. Of course, we can see that diamond on the board completes the flush for Eric Baldwin. Elias checks, and Baldwin's going to continue to put chips into this pot. As long as Baldwin gets a clean run, I think he's just going to try and go for 3 streets here. So
Right, and of course, Elias picking up the nut flush draw here is not going anywhere.
Not only is he not going anywhere, you know, the king of diamonds can be a card that entices Elias to take some bluff opportunities, right? Knowing that his opponent can't have the nuts, so which in this case can get him into some trouble.
River is the 4 of hearts, no flush for Elias. Baldwin still best with his flush. Now, if you're Baldwin, are you going to go small to extract value from perhaps a jack of some kind? Or are you going to go big, assuming that Elias is going to be very polarized here too?
I think you probably lean a little bit on the larger sizing.
$2.8.
2.8, there it is, larger sizing. Not only is it large, it's an overbet.
Wow. Overbet city. You'll love to see it.
Elias gives it up, and nice big one for Baldwin, and he takes the chip lead.
For the first time at the final table today, Eric Baldwin in the lead now, up to 6.8 million versus the 5.3 of Darren Elias. Eric Baldwin coming back from almost nothing, having a chance now to take this one down. Take your poker game to the next level. Check out our shop at shop.pokergo.com for some official merch. We got some really sick stuff. And if you ever visit our studio, what you're looking at right now is a vending machine. We got hats, t-shirts, hoodies, all sorts of cool stuff right there inside the studio for you to get your own PokerGo merch. Speaking of merch, Donnie, this jacket up for grabs this week.
Yep, can't buy it though. You gotta win it. All right, Baldwin taking the chip lead with that last hand. Pretty much just flip-flop the stacks. Baldwin now is the one with 56% of the chips in play, and Elias has 44%. Elias here on the button. Queen Jack is going to raise 325. Baldwin's going to defend the Jack 6 off. Another 800K in the middle to fight for. King 6-4. So Baldwin dominated coming into the flop, takes the lead, outflops Elias with that pair of sixes. Could be a flop texture here in position as the pre-flop raiser that Elias wants to continue. And he's going to do just that. 350. Baldwin makes the call. Ooh, queen on the turn puts Elias back in front now. So a little suck-resuck action here.
Yeah, exactly. And let's see if Elias is going to bet this turn or perhaps think, maybe I'm better off going for value on the river because I'm not going to get 2 streets anyway. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's merits to taking both lines. You know, there are some straight draws out there. There's some flush draws you might want to protect against, or kind of both of those come in on this 3 of clubs river here. I think we have seen a lot of Elias, at least at this final table, where he's been betting flops and then taking a more conservative or passive or showdown approach on turns, checking back a lot. So this hand very much falls in line with that. Baldwin's going to lead this river here. 175,000. Just about 1/10 pot, nice and small. Really tricky always to play against these super small bets. They've become much more of a thing these days that a lot of players are implementing, and they're just really tricky.
If you're Elias, does this small bet remove your option to raise? And is that also the reason why Baldwin perhaps does it? Or do you have to treat it as a check sometimes, you know, and just do your own thing, not pay too close attention to a small bet like this?
I don't think you can always treat it like a check because, you know, Baldwin here could be trying to target the hands like a 4, a 3. You know, if he's got like, I don't know, ace-3 hearts, for example, and now he hits that river, well, you know, you want to get called. Good assessment here from Elias coming in with a raise.
Very well done by Elias.
Call.
Oh, he makes the call.
Wow.
Gonna see the bad news.
Tremendous value for
9.
Darren Elias. Excellent raise here, Donnie. Was this the move of the day?
Yes. I mean, this is very well played. You know, a lot of times players just, you know, you see the small bet on the river, you're sitting there with second pair of queens, you're just like, oh, let's flick it in, call.
Yep.
You know, Elias took it to the next level, raised it up, got the call, and he's back out in front and even doing a little bit better than he has been in this heads-up match. 7.2 million to 5 million now as the blinds go up to 100K, 200K.
Yeah, the
I can do
stacks
this math.
get shallower.
We got 4.5 or more, 5.
Yeah, between those two.
Baldwin sitting on exactly 5 million to the 7.2 of Darren Elias. Still plenty of big blinds left in play, but something tells me that these guys are going to battle for every hand like we just saw. So any hand could be the last one.
Oh yeah.
Don't look away.
They did agree to some faster levels, 20 minutes now.
Okay.
So,
okay.
which is, you know, it's good heads up. You know, you're seeing hands faster, so let's move it along. And of course, as we saw yesterday, if you were with us out there as a viewer, you know that you get up to that registration point for the next tournament, you want to get in it. So it's probably better just to speed up the play a little bit and try and get into that next tournament. And both these guys, we would guess, are going to buy into event number 3 that's running now with registration closing in just about an hour. Baldwin limping the button here with Jack 7 off. Elias checking 7-6 of diamonds from the big blind. Comes Jack 8-8, so 2 pair for Baldwin.
The fact that these levels are now 20 minutes, Donnie, does sort of implicate that they might have made a deal. But like you said,
they could have.
Yeah, they could have. Of course, they cannot make a deal for the points, so.
Yeah. This could be a good spot to check raise for Elias, and he's going to do just that. A lot of back doors here for him. He's not directly connected, but 6, 7, 8 working in some sort of straight draw combination. He's got those 3 diamonds. He can represent a lot of 8s here. Just, he could have anything really out of the big blind in a limp spot. Can turn a lot of really good cards and just be able to continue on. So I want to check 200, raise to 500, call. 3 on the turn. Pretty blanky there, so we'll see how Elias comes with this one. I'm guessing that check raise on the flop is probably indicative of the fact that we're going to see him fire away here.
10 seconds.
There we go.
8,000 or 800.
800K is the bet, so 50% pot. Sizing this one nicely to shove the river if Baldwin calls. And there is the call.
Is Baldwin just sort of forcing himself to call this down because Elias is not is going to have a lot more than just value hands, and his jack pair is going to be too strong to give up as the board pairs on the river with a 3?
Yeah, I think Baldwin is just going to kind of take the call down approach. I mean, you can kind of reassess with each street. This would just be pretty incredible if Elias pulls this trigger. And there it is. Look at that.
Wow, Darren.
Look at that.
Darren Elias firing big on the river. $1.4 million is the bet. Eric Baldwin, top pair with the 7 kicker on a double paired board. Donnie, can we fold here? Or is this just one of those, all right, I cannot let go of my jack here. If you have it, you have it.
I mean, this is a very tough spot.
Time extended.
And there's a lot of times Darren Elias is just going to play an 8 like this. Check raise with the trips on the flop and then just go barrel, barrel. How does Baldwin view this sort of sizing? If he did have an 8, would Elias go for absolute max value, try and end the tournament? Does he have a better jack?
Time extended.
Baldwin talking through some fold combos potentially, and lets it go.
Wow, look at that from Darren Elias.
Wow. Darren Elias gets the bluff through. On the surface, this seemed like a call that you have to make in heads-up play. Baldwin just not trusting what he is seeing.
Well done there from Darren Elias. You know, we do see players at times check raise with some bluffs, barrel the turns with some bluffs, but to be able to pull that next trigger on the river there, it takes being the best of the best, and that's what Darren Elias is. Not an easy spot for Eric Baldwin. Of course, you know, we're sitting here in the commentator booth. We can see the cards. We can see he has the check mark. He just has to click the call button, but it's not that easy in the moment. We've all been there.
Darren Elias extending his chip lead now, 8.7 to 3.5 million. All of a sudden, Eric Baldwin in serious trouble here. Queen 4-5, 2 spades on this flop. Pair of fives best here. Darren Elias, just what a display today. Of course, winning 2 all-ins against Wang. Very helpful on his way to this heads-up battle. Just pulled off a great bluff. Now only has to collect 15 more big blinds from his opponent to lock this one down, post for that winner photo, grab the trophy, and hop into event number 3. Chrissy's saying, I think that fold cost Baldwin the win. For sure, if he makes that call, all of a sudden, this game swings around completely. By the way, if you're enjoying the content, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. It's an honor and a pleasure to call the action for you here today. Like I said earlier, no stream tomorrow on Sunday, but on Monday, we'll be back with the Event 3 final table. That event is going on right now inside the studio. Go to pgt.com, click on the live reporting tab, and follow along with the updates from that event. Turn card here brings a 3rd heart. No hearts for either player. Darren Elias, by the way, 97th on poker's all-time money list. Top 100 of all time in tournaments. Pretty damn impressive. Elias betting 400K here with his flopped 2 pair. Baldwin opening a straight draw, but with hearts out there. Let's go, and Elias approaching 10 million now. Quick little update from event number 3. Justin Saliba, Chance Corneth, and Lucky Chewy still at the top of the counts. Registration still open for a little under an hour in that event. Would you have folded to Jack, Donnie?
I don't know, man. I honestly don't know if I could say I could fold a jack there, but I also don't know if I could click call. I mean,
right,
it's like
right.
I'd probably be doing a lot of what Eric Baldwin was doing, and probably would have taken me a lot longer to make a decision.
I'm just not good enough to fold top pair there. But Darren Elias would probably know that he would not bluff my dumb face because he's like, oh, this fish is never going to fold top pair.
Sometimes the best plays work against the better players because they're able to, you know, really think it through and, like, in a way, kind of level themselves.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Move up where they respect your raises, Donnie.
That's right.
That is something we used to throw around a lot. Yeah, they just don't fold it because they don't care. Stakes are too low. But I don't have the money to play any higher, so I guess we're stuck here. Elias continues to pick up the small ones here, Donnie. That knockout blow. He's just waiting now.
Yeah, I'd love to be inside Eric Baldwin's mind right now. He looks
defeated.
I'd say a little deflated. He's not. I don't think he's totally defeated. I don't think he's totally deflated. But he does look like, you make a fold like that, you just don't know.
Right,
so you're like,
right.
man, was I right? Was I wrong? That sort of thing. You're just questioning it. So, but he's still got 12 bigs here, so he's not totally out of it. One double up and he's back in the mix.
This is his comfort zone.
That's where he's been the whole time.
He's been short for most of this final table. Baldwin here looking down a Jack-8 of spades. Not a bad holding for a heads-up play, and there it is.
Yeah,
he moves all in.
Call.
Oh, Darren Elias with the quick call. Ace-Queen suited, and
here we go.
All of a sudden, Darren Elias, a clean run out away from winning this event, collecting the top prize, and of course, a ton of points here in the race for the purple jacket. Eric Baldwin's going to need some help. But hey, not a bad shot here, almost 40% equity.
Yeah, plenty live here. His spades are live. His cards are live.
About a $70,000 pay difference between first and second. Let's see if Elias can close it out here. All right, here's the flop. 10, 6, 7. All right. Opportunities here for Eric Baldwin. 10 outs. A 9, a jack, or an 8 would see him double up. Darren Elias, of course, not too worried. He's got plenty of chips to fight with. Turn card. The queen of spades. Darren Elias pairs his queen, but Eric Baldwin now with a flush draw and a straight draw. Eric Baldwin needs help or this thing is done. Is it going to be there for him? It is not there for Eric Baldwin.
Yeah, you bet.
And Darren Elias takes down event number 2 of the 2023 Poker Masters. He collects $223,000 and, of course, the 223 points that come along with that big win. Eric Baldwin collects 155,200, the largest score of the year for him. Tremendous showing by Baseball-y, and I'm sure we'll see both of these guys back in event number 3. Wow. Sure. Exciting final table yet again. All the superstars came out to play. It's been an honor and a pleasure calling the action for you here. My name is Remko Rinkema. Donnie Peters was alongside me here for the action. No action tomorrow on Sunday. Enjoy that football. Back on Monday with the final table of event number 3 and follow along with that action, like I said before, on pgt.com as we have live reporting of that event until they get down to the final table. Here's a look at the final results presented by StormX. Darren Elias on top. Alex Foxen was the first to go today. And a big name there, Vladas Tamasauskas. He is our clubhouse leader in the race for the purple jacket and the $50K cash bonus. Poker Masters action continues on Monday. Darren Elias, once again, round of applause for him. Thanks all so much for watching. If you're on YouTube and Twitch, we'll see you again on Monday. On your way out the door, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. It helps us a lot. And then please have a good night, enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you on Monday.